Naruto God Level System, Chapter 341 to 360. Chapter 341 The Stunned Hinata. Loli surrounding him, Hyuga-chen expressed a headache. Although he also likes the little Loli, it is not good to be flooded. Fortunately, Sakura and Ino stood up at this time, relieved Hyuga-chen, and drove away the little Loli around him. Looking at them, Hyuga-chen thought of Kushina. When he was in school, Kushina also shot and chased away the little girls who surrounded him. Who is this little girl? Sakura pointed to Hanabi, who was standing with Hinata. This is Hinata's sister. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. So handsome, really handsome, I really want to bring big brother home. Sakura and Ino murmured while looking at Hyuga-chan's smile. Seeing that the two were in a state of nympho, Hyuga-chen was speechless. At this moment, a group of ninjas rushed towards this side and surrounded Hyuga-chen. What's the matter? Did that hateful guy do something wrong? Uzumaki Naruto gave a schadenfreude smile. Hyuga-chen was not surprised by the people surrounding him. After all, he had just killed a student of the Uchiha family, and it was slow enough for these guys to arrive now. Shoot the students at the ninja school, please come with us. A special Jonin in the lead said with a cold expression. What are you doing? Sakura and Ino watched the group vigilantly, spreading their hands to protect Hyuga-chen behind them, and Hinata also assumed a fighting stance. Hyuga-chen looked at Sakura and Ino, who were protecting him, and he was a little bit dumbfounded, but he felt a little bit more fond of them both in his heart. Those who are afraid of causing trouble can't wait to step back 100 miles. It is very rare that they can still stand here. Hanabi felt a little scared when he saw the arrogance, and quickly hugged Hyuga-chen's leg. Could it be that you have to resist? Special Jonin, who was in the lead, took out his kunai, with a look of anger on his face. Hinata tensed, his hands burning white chakra flames. Hyuga-chen watched this scene and didn't stop it. It's fine for these guys to train Hinata's hands. Anyway, except for the special Jonin who led the way, the other three were Chunin. These people are the school's newly established school law enforcement team, or Namikaze Minato, established when Hokage, in order to maintain order in the school. The strength of the law enforcement team is not too strong, and the leader of the team is only a special Jonin, that is, the one standing opposite. But it is also normal. After all, it is only to maintain the order of the school. How strong can the students of the school be? It's enough to have them. Shoot them down and hand them over to Lord Hokage. The leading special Jonin shot, targeting Hyuga-chen. No one can hurt Big Brother. Seeing that someone was about to attack Hyuga-chen, Hinata changed her weak appearance and stood in front of Hyuga-chen. Seeing a little girl standing in front of him, the leading special Jonin's eyes turned cold, and he glanced at Hyuga-chen contemptuously, hiding behind the little girl. It was nothing. In particular, Jonin's speed is not reduced. He is going to knock out the little girl of Hyuga's family first, and then take Hyuga-chen down. To actually kill someone at a ninja school is really audacious. The reason why he was so angry was because the students in the school were killed, and he couldn't escape the responsibility, especially since the students were from the Uchiha family. He might have to go to Konoha prison. If you can catch the culprit, you might be able to atone for it. At this time, he didn't care whether he would be blamed by the Hyuga family for hurting this little girl of the Hyuga family. He didn't want to stay in prison for the rest of his life. Hinata snorted. Gentle fist 8 trigrams 64 palms. Especially when Jonin was surrounded by 8 trigrams, he knew it was not good. He didn't expect this little girl to be so powerful that she could use the gentle fist method at the age of 6. Originally, because he was afraid of seriously hurting Hinata, the Hyuga family would be questioned. This particular Jonin did not use his full strength at all, and then he was tragic. From the time he rushed over recklessly, his fate had already been decided. Hinata hit the afterimage with both hands, and 8 trigrams 64 palms all hit this particular Jonin, severely wounding the man while blocking his acupuncture point. This is still Hinata's mercy, otherwise he will definitely kill him. Everything happened in an instant, whether it was the three chunins of the law enforcement team or the people watching the fun from a distance, they were all stunned. Hinata did a good job. Hyuga-chen walked over and rubbed Hinata's hair. Hinata is amazing. Sakura and Ino also looked at Hinata in astonishment. Hinata pinched the corner of her clothes, listening to Hyuga-chen's praise and Sakura and Ino's praise. She felt a little shy, and Yuhi's face turned up. She was very excited. Hyuga-chen's appreciation was her recognition. Hinata worked hard to get the approval of Hyuga-chen. Damn, how is it possible? How can she be so strong? Uchiha Sasuke angrily punched the big tree next to him, ignoring the pain of his fist. Uchiha Sasuke has always considered himself to be the strongest in the class, and has always treated this young lady of the Hyuga family, who is as famous as the Uchiha family, with disdain. But seeing this soft and weak guy today easily defeat a ninja, Uchiha Sasuke was unbalanced and looked at Hyuga Hinata jealously. Others in Hinata's class were also stunned. They couldn't imagine how strong the weak Hinata was. And Hinata never showed it. Does she look down on me? Uchiha Sasuke became more and more angry, thinking that Hyuga Hinata didn't show his strength before, just looked down on him. I have to say that Uchiha Sasuke's idea is wonderful. The shortcomings of the Uchiha family can basically be found in Sasuke Uchiha. Damn Sasuke, Hinata's strength is stronger than you. Uzumaki Naruto didn't miss this opportunity to ridicule Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke was even more angry. The tail of the crane actually came to mock him. It was really annoying. Why are you looking at me? Do you want to fight? I'm not afraid of you. Uzumaki roared Naruto. Humph. I don't have the same knowledge as you, idiot. Uchiha Sasuke said coldly. Three chunins look at me, I look at you, I don't know what to do. Their captain was knocked down by one move, and passed out. Do you want them to go up to deliver food? At this time, the three chunin were unable to express their bitterness, and stood there in a daze, not knowing what they were thinking. Your captain all vomited blood and fainted, why don't you go take a look? Hyuga-chen pointed at the unlucky bastard who had passed out in a coma. In fact, with his special strength as Jonin, if he takes it seriously, he will not be defeated by Hinata with one move. But there is no if in this world, who makes him underestimate the enemy. Seeing that Hinata is young, he will not take it seriously, and then he is killed by Hinata in one move. It is estimated that if this guy wakes up, he will kill himself by wiping his neck. After all, for an adult to be defeated by a little girl, it is simply shameful and cannot be more shameful. Chapter 342 Itachi, your body is a little weak. Brother Chen, why did they come to arrest you? Ino asked. It's not that there is a brain wreck of the Uchiha family who ran over to find stimulation, and was slapped to death by the irritable me. Hyuga-chen said. That's right, that guy is so nasty, he wants to bully me. Hanabi said with his hands up. The brains of the Uchiha family. Slapped to death. Uchiha Sasuke's heart fluctuated violently, looking at Hyuga-chen's eyes very badly, and the cold air emanating from his body made Naruto Uzumaki next to him feel cold. What's wrong with you? How come you look like a big ice cube? Uzumaki asked Naruto a little further away. Naruto, you idiot. Inazuka Kiba in the distance felt that Uzumaki Naruto was stupid. At this time, even the idiot knew that Uchiha Sasuke was angry. Go away, Uchiha Sasuke roared coldly. Ah, you dare to scold me, I want to duel with you. Uzumaki Naruto rushed towards Uchiha Sasuke regardless. Then a yellow figure flew out upside down, smashed to the ground, and the dust flew up. Uchiha Sasuke put away the kicked foot, and walked towards Hyuga-chen coldly. Uzumaki raised his head, spit out a mouthful of dirt, and looked at Uchiha Sasuke's back angrily, but it was useless for him to get angry, because he couldn't beat Uchiha Sasuke, so he could only shout here. It's you who killed my Uchiha family. Hyuga-chen lowered his head and looked at Uchiha Sasuke with a frosty face, a playful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. What if it is? What if it isn't? Do you want to avenge that guy who killed him? Hyuga-chen asked jokingly. My Uchiha family, not everyone can move. Uchiha Sasuke's voice was cold, with anger in his eyes. I'll make you pay today. Uchiha Sasuke attacked with a punch. Drink. Hinata snorted softly, and before Uchiha Sasuke's fist came out, the small fist hit Uchiha Sasuke's abdomen. Uchiha Sasuke screamed, and then smashed next to Uzumaki Naruto. His stomach turned upside down, as if his intestines were twisted together. This punch almost knocked out Uchiha Sasuke's shit. Hinata is so powerful. He knocked out the top Uchiha Sasuke with one punch. When can I be so powerful? Sakura looked at Hinata with admiration. Yeah, but Hinata, you are so good, why don't you show it? If you show it, you will be the number one in the class, won't we girls be very face to face then? Ino said. The teacher said that it is better to keep a low profile. Mushu will be destroyed by Lin Feng, and if it is piled above the rip current, it will be turbulent. Hinata said in a low voice. Of course, mainly Hinata is not a high-profile person, and Kushina has two temperaments, completely opposite temperaments. Brother Chen, if you killed someone, will something happen? Ino looked worried. It's okay, don't be afraid, I tell you, the fourth generation of Hokage is my classmate, and I also have a backstage person. Hyuga Chen comforted. But, didn't the fourth Hokage die in battle? Sakura looked up at Hyuga Chen. That's okay, the vice principal of the ninja school, Ueno Shuri used to be my teacher. I have a background, don't worry about me, I have a background. Hyuga Chen patted his chest and said proudly. Hinata looked at Hyuga Chen with an expression of hesitating to speak. What's wrong with Hinata? Hyuga Chen asked aloud when he saw Hinata hesitating. Brother Chen, the principal Ueno you mentioned has already retired, and he retired a long time ago. Hinata whispered. Really? I really don't know. Hyuga Chen scratched his head. He saw Ueno-sensei a while ago, but he didn't ask him about his work. It's still the same sentence, it doesn't matter. I'm very familiar with Uchiha Itachi, and the relationship is old. Even if he kills the Uchiha family, he has nothing to say. The relationship is so strong. Hyuga Chen waved his hand and said, so that they don't have to worry. Nonsense, my brother won't know you. Uchiha Sasuke got up and said angrily. If you have the ability, you can fight with me. What kind of ability is it to hide behind the girls? Tilda, Hyuga-chan laughed mockingly. What do you mean? Seeing Hyuga-chan's mocking smile, Uchiha Sasuke was about to explode with anger. You can't have this mentality. How can you be like a dynamite bag, just a little bit? Hyuga-chen shook his head and taught him a lesson. Your brother is behind you, you can ask him if he recognizes me. Hyuga-chen pointed behind Uchiha Sasuke. Uchiha Sasuke turned his head and saw several masked ninjas. Looking at the leading ninja, Uchiha Sasuke was surprised. Although Uchiha Itachi wears a mask, Uchiha Sasuke still recognizes this man as his brother by virtue of his familiarity with his brother. He forcibly resisted the thought of rushing towards his brother. This was at school, not at home. If he threw himself up, he would definitely be laughed at by his classmates. How could Sasuke, a coercive king, do such a rude thing? Sasuke, come behind me, Uchiha Itachi said. Itachi, it's been a long time. I accidentally killed an unfortunate child of the Uchiha family. I think with the relationship between us, you shouldn't blame me. Hyuga-chen put his hand on Uchiha Itachi's shoulder. Uchiha Itachi bent his knees slightly, feeling Hyuga-chen's hand on his body was as heavy as a mountain. Uchiha Itachi had sweat on his forehead, and his body was a little unsteady. Brother, what's wrong with you? Uchiha Sasuke also found something wrong. I'm fine, you don't have to worry about it. Uchiha Itachi bit Kiba and said with a hard voice. Anbu ninja behind Uchiha Itachi was very embarrassed. Hyuga-chen and the others knew each other. Hokage-sama also ordered them not to provoke Hyuga-chen. But looking at it now, it was obvious that Hyuga-chen was bullying their captain. And openly killing people at the ninja school is an unforgivable sin. Now they don't know what to do. After calculating the gains and losses in their minds, they think it's better to keep silent. If you go up to the top, you will probably lose your life. If you watch from behind, no one will blame them. At this time, even a fool knows how to choose. Just when the atmosphere became more and more tense, Hyuga-chen smiled and took away the hand on Uchiha Itachi's shoulder. Uchiha Itachi exhaled, and finally took his hand away. If it took a while, he might be lying on the ground and making a fool of himself. Itachi, I want to remind you that your body is a little weak. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. This is not Hyuga-chen joking, but Uchiha Itachi's body is really weak, or he is strong from the outside. Now it seems that there is no reason for him to get sick in the future. With this constitution and the use of Mangekyo Sharingan, it is strange that he is not sick. And he is a congenital cause, basically can't be cured, just like Kimamaro's blood disease, he is also a blood disease. Chapter 343 Hinata vs Uchiha Itachi Tenseigan hanging. Why did you kill Uchiha Yase? Uchiha Itachi asked blankly, but he wore a mask and couldn't see his expression. That guy will die sooner or later, but now it's just some time to die. Hyuga-chen gave Uchiha Itachi a look tilde. Let's not talk about this first, let's talk about your body first. Your body is not good. You can live up to 30 years old at most, this is if you don't use Mangekyo Sharingan. Hyuga-chen gave Uchiha Itachi a contempt the eyes. Uchiha Itachi felt inexplicable anger. Come with me about killing Uchiha Yase. Go to Hokage and tell it yourself. Uchiha Itachi looked directly at Hyuga-chen and said coldly. Don't go, I won't go with you. Hinata, go beat him up, how dare you talk to me like this. Hyuga-chen patted Hinata's body. Hinata felt a powerful chakra suddenly pouring into her body, this powerful force did not cause any harm to her. And she also felt that her eyes were a little numb, so she couldn't help closing her eyes. After a while, she opened her eyes again, and her eyes turned bright blue. This time, she felt the difference. Her eyesight seemed to be suddenly improved dozens of times, and she could clearly see the chakras of people around her, except for Hyuga-chen, of course. And she felt that time seemed to be slowing down, and it felt very magical. This is insight, the ability of the Sharingan, but Tenseigan also has great insight. Hinata, teach this guy a lesson. Hyuga-chen cheered on Hinata from behind. Why did my sister's eyes turn blue? Hanabi asked curiously. And brother Hekken, your eyes seem to be the same. Hyuga-chen smiled and didn't say why. Uchiha Itachi looked at Hinata, and he felt a strong pressure on Hinata's body. Brother Chen asked me to teach you a lesson. Hinata said nothing, her body was shrouded in white chakra. This is the Tenseigan chakra pattern, except that the chakra of the Tenseigan chakra pattern of Hinata is white. It seems that Tenseigan's chakra pattern, like Susanoo, has different colors. Hyuga-chen said secretly. Entering Tenseigan chakra mode, Hinata's aura is frightening, and the entire ninja school is shrouded in Hinata's terrifying aura. The sealed Kyuubi 9 tails were awakened. Now Hinata's strength is super cage level, but this is not Hinata's own power, but relying on Hyuga-chen's chakra to temporarily use Tenseigan. This is Hinata's sister. Sakura, Ino, and Hanabi looked at Hinata floating in the air. High energy ahead, non-combatants evade quickly. Hyuga-chen reminded, but he reminded too late, and there are not many who can stand now. Sarutobi Hiruzen rushed over and looked at Hinata floating in the air, wrapped in white chakra, unable to see his appearance at all, and his face was extremely difficult to see. What's going on? Sarutobi Hiruzen asked Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi couldn't explain it, he could only point out Hyuga-chen. Anyway, a little girl over 6 years old couldn't be so strong all of a sudden. So it must be the ghost of Hyuga-chen. Sarutobi Hiruzen looked at Hyuga-chen, and Hyuga-chen greeted him. making Sarutobi Hiruzen feel the urge to vomit blood. Leaving him in the morning, and making such a big deal in the afternoon, Sarutobi Hiruzen has a headache, and he regrets not giving Hokage to Danzo. If it were to Danzo, he wouldn't have such a headache. Seeing Hyuga-chen now, Sarutobi Hiruzen's head hurts. Don't stare at me, change the battlefield. Hyuga-chen's scalp was numb from the stare, hugged Hanabi, pulled Sakura and Ino, and brought Hinata, Uchiha Itachi, Sarutobi Hiruzen into the ice space in the Imperial Palace. How is this battlefield? Hyuga-chan asked with a smile. It's so cold. Hanabi, Sakura, and Ino shivered. The ice space was indeed cold. Hyuga-chen looked at the three little girls with frozen lips, and hurriedly used chakra to cover them, dispelling the cold from them. Sarutobi Hiruzen and Uchiha Itachi can only resist the cold with their chakras. By the way, what did I bring you in for? Hyuga-chan suddenly looked at Sarutobi Hiruzen. Sarutobi Hiruzen was speechless in horror at this time, and he was still shocked that Hyuga-chen silently moved him to another dimension. Get out of here! A dark cave appeared at the foot of Sarutobi Hiruzen, and Sarutobi Hiruzen fell into it with a swish. Lord Hokage! Uchiha Itachi hurried over, but at this time the dark cave had disappeared. What did you do to Hokage-sama? Uchiha Itachi asked. You better take care of yourself first. An ice throne appeared behind Hyuga-chen, and Hyuga-chen sat on it. Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Hinata had already started to attack, and the repulsive force knocked Uchiha Itachi out and smashed it on the ice. The intense pain made Uchiha Itachi turn on Mangekyo Sharingan. Amaterasu. Uchiha Itachi Mangekyo Sharingan turned, blood flowing from his eyes. Amaterasu did not hit Hinata, and a white sphere turned into a shield in front of him. This sphere was Gudodama Truth-Seeking Ball, which surrounded Hinata and guarded her. Hinata's Gudodama Truth-Seeking Ball is also white, and with the white chakra on her body, Gudodama Truth-Seeking Ball is hard to spot. Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Hinata used the Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign again, but this time it was much stronger than the previous tentative attack. Uchiha Itachi didn't dare to neglect, he used Susanoo in a hurry, disregarding the pain in his body, he took out Yatagara's mirror for defense. Yata mirror is known as the strongest defense, which is absolutely rated, but the evaluations are very unreliable. Yata mirror is indeed very defensive and can bounce back all attacks, but his defense is also limited. However, it is clear that Hinata's Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign did not exceed the upper limit of Yatagara's defense, but Yatagara also couldn't rebound Hinata's attack. Hinata's eyes narrowed, and he definitely couldn't let his brother down. The golden wheel is reborn. A dazzling golden light swept across, and Uchiha Itachi just left by instinct, but the invincible defense Yata mirror, including Susanoo, was cut in half together. Looking at the severed glacier, Uchiha Itachi was half knelt on the ground, blood in his eyes, and his whole body stabbed like needles. Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Hinata hesitated for a while, thinking that Hyuga-chen taught that he can't be soft against the enemy, so he made up a Shinra Tensei Almighty Push sign. Uchiha Itachi, who had no resistance, was hit by the repulsion force, and the blood flowed out without money, dying Yuhi. Ice. Except for releasing an Amaterasu this time, Uchiha Itachi was hanged and beaten at other times, and even if it wasn't for luck, he would have been cut in half by the golden wheel. And Hinata hasn't used all his strength, otherwise he can easily kill Uchiha Itachi, and it can only be said that the gap between Mangekyo Sharingan and Tenseigan is too great. Chapter 344 Eating Sugar Makes You Fat. Hyuga-chen looked at Uchiha Itachi, who had passed out, and shook his head. Originally, what he thought was to have Hinata and Uchiha Itachi fight and get acquainted with Tenseigan's various abilities. But Hyuga-chen forgot that the current Uchiha Itachi is only 13 years old, and his strength has not reached the peak. If it is Uchiha Itachi at the peak of cage level, plus Mangekyo Sharingan, and then with combat experience, maybe even a fight with Hinata. But the current Uchiha Itachi, facing the strength of Hinata, who is temporarily equivalent to Super Shadow, the gap is really a bit big. If it wasn't for Hinata's failure to kill, Uchiha Itachi would have died. The difference in strength is too great, and the effect of combat experience is not big. Of course, it is not useless. If it wasn't for Uchiha Itachi's good combat experience, who sensed the crisis in advance and avoided it, he would have been cut in half by the golden wheel. Hinata put away the Tenseigan chakra mode, fell from the sky, the huge chakra on his body gradually disappeared, and his strength changed back to the previous elite Chunin again. Hyuga-chen immediately used chakra to shield Hinata from the freezing cold around her. Let's go. Get out of this space. The endless glaciers may be interesting at first, but they get bored after a long time, because the colors are too monotonous. When Hyuga-chen went out, he didn't forget to bring Uchiha Itachi. After all, he was the one who brought him to practice Tenseigan for Hinata, no matter what he didn't seem to be authentic. After coming out, through Uchiha Itachi to Sarutobi Hiruzen, Sarutobi Hiruzen hurriedly sent Uchiha Itachi to the hospital. 3 generations old man, I'll go first. Hyuga-chen held Hanabi in one hand and Hinata in the other, followed by Sakura and Ino, and left gracefully. As for whether Hinata and the others are skipping classes, now that the ninja school is a mess, what else are they going to study? Even in Hyuga-chen's estimation, the ninja school will have a few days off, and the fact is exactly as Hyuga-chen estimated. The next day, the ninja school posted a notice for a week off. Hinata is on holiday. Hanabi is very happy. 10-10 all come to Hinata to play. Sakura and Ino are also almost 10-10 here. Brother Chen, can you teach us to practice? Ino looked at Hyuga-chen expectantly. Of Hinata's strength, and they also want to have such a strong strength in their hearts. Hyuga-chen thought about it and nodded in agreement. Hyuga-chen and them are also very familiar, so it is no problem to teach them. Moreover, Hyuga-chen Shion is also boring. Teaching Hinata one person is a teacher, and teaching 3 people is also a teacher. Hearing that Hyuga-chen was going to teach Sakura and Ino to practice together, Hanabi, the little girl, joined in the fun. Hanabi, you're still too young to practice cultivation. Hyuga-chen stroked Hanabi's pouted mouth and comforted her unhappy. Humph, obviously you don't want to teach me. Hanabi twisted his body and said unhappily. Look at them. Cultivation is not a good thing. Cultivation is very hard. We can just watch them practice here. Hyuga-chen twisted Hanabi's body and showed her the sweating Sakura and the others. Don't you want to work as hard as them? Hyuga-chen asked while holding the wave candy. Hanabi's eyes were completely attracted to the pompano, and her strict father at home didn't let her eat sugar at all, so she had no resistance to sugar at all. Do you really want to eat it? Hyuga-chen tempted with the candy. Hanabi was about to grab it with her little paws out, but every time she almost touched the pompano, Hyuga-chen avoided her hand. Time passed. Hanabi got angry. His mouth was deflated, and he cried out with a wow. Hyuga-chen was very embarrassed, acting as if he was bullying the little girl, and hurriedly handed Hanabi the wave. After taking the wave, Hanabi's tears disappeared immediately, and she gave Hyuga-chen a smug smile. Damn it, I was deceived by a 1-year-old girl. Could it be that my IQ is not as good as that of a 1-year-old girl? Hyuga-chen fell into deep self-doubt. Hanabi made a triumphant gesture to Hyuga-chen with a smug look on his face. Little girl is quite proud. I see how proud you are. Hyuga-chen bit off more than half of the pompadour in one bite. This time it was Hyuga-chen, proud of it. Hanabi cried out when he saw that more than half of the candy was missing in his hand. This time he really cried. Really crying. Hyuga-chen poked Hanabi with his hand and found that he was really crying. Okay, don't cry, I'll give you a bigger boba candy, okay. Hyuga-chen took out a bigger boobang and shook it in front of Hanabi. Hanabi twitched her little nose and squinted at the bigger bauble. If you don't want it, just keep crying. This is only for good children, such as your sister. Hyuga-chen gestured to take it back. No, give this to me. Eating too much sugar will make you fat. It's not good for my sister. I'll eat it for my sister. Hanabi quickly grabbed the sugar. How do you know that eating too much sugar will make you gain weight? Hyuga-chen asked curiously. A little girl over 1 year old actually knew that eating sugar would make her fat. That's what my mom told me. She said that if I eat too much sugar, I'll turn into a chubby chick, Hanabi whispered. Hyuga-chen was speechless, probably because her mother didn't want her to eat candy, so that's what she said. But it's also true. Then why do you still want to eat? Aren't you afraid of becoming a chubby girl, like the Akamichi family? I want to eat it because it's delicious. Hyuga Hanabi said while licking the candy. Unexpectedly, this little girl is still a foodie. Hyuga-chen smiled. If you eat too much, you will gain weight. If you gain weight, I don't like you. I don't like little fat girls. Huh, Hyuga Hanabi said nervously, then I won't eat it. Okay, eat what you want. I have a way to make you lose weight, even if you become a big fat girl. Hyuga-chen smiled softly. This little girl is really cute. 3.5 inches really. Great. Hanabi immediately took the sugar back. For a week, Hyuga-chen taught Hinata 3 girls to practice. In fact, he mainly taught Sakura and Ino. Because of having taught Kurenai Yuhi and the others, Hyuga-chen is quite experienced, and taught them some basics that could not be learned at the ninja school. The 2 of them learned quite fast. Although they are not peerless geniuses, they are also very talented. Sakura and Ino learned a lot in a week, especially Sakura. She was only a commoner and had no one to guide her, so Hyuga-chen's teaching helped her the most. After the holiday, Sakura, Ino and Hyuga Tatsu agreed to come here every afternoon after school to practice and ask Hyuga Tatsu for guidance. They also kill 2 birds with 1 stone. They can not only meet Hyuga-chen, but also improve their strength. Hyuga-chen didn't refuse either. It was okay to teach them when he had nothing to do. Chapter 345 Genocide Night. 10 days later, Uchiha Itachi, who was injured by Hinata, was discharged from the hospital, and his injuries were fully recovered. Itachi, have you recovered? Thank you Hokage-sama for your concern. I have recovered. Uchiha Itachi nodded. I came this time to discuss Uchiha with Hokage-sama. Sarutobi Hiruzen put down the document in his hand, looked at Uchiha Itachi seriously, and asked, Itachi, are you ready? Yes, I'm ready. I'll do it tonight, and I hope Lord Hokage is ready. Sarutobi Hiruzen closed his eyes and pondered for a while, then nodded and said, don't worry. I will order it, and it will never affect other people. In fact, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't want Uchiha to perish. He wanted Uchiha to become part of Konoha's power, but the conflict between Uchiha and Konoha could not be resolved. Moreover, Sarutobi Hiruzen is a disciple of the 2nd generation of Hokage, and he has been with Senju Tobarama for a long time, and he inevitably has a prejudice against the Uchiha family. After Uchiha Itachi said that, he left, leaving Sarutobi Hiruzen in the office with his eyes closed in contemplation. At the same time, Danzo also received news that the ninjas at the route were frequently mobilized. Danzo has been spying on Sharingan for a long time, especially Mangekyo Sharingan, who sent ninjas from the route group to ambush around the Uchiha land. Waiting for the time when Uchiha Itachi and the Uchiha clansmen will be defeated, and then he will lead someone to clean up the mess. Uchiha family that makes him unhappy, but he will also get Uchiha Fugaku's Mangekyo Sharingan and Uchiha Itachi's Mangekyo Sharingan. And Danzo is sure that Uchiha Shisui's other Mangekyo Sharingan is definitely in Uchiha Itachi's hands, because he is the one who finally sees Uchiha Shisui. Danzo's eyes burned at the thought of Koto Amatsukami's powerful abilities. At the same time, Uchiha Itachi asked White Zetsu to inform the masked man, Uchiha Madara, that it is difficult for him to destroy the Uchiha family by himself, and the masked man is the helper. Soon Uchiha Obito came to Konoha, looked at Uchiha Itachi and asked, it's decided. I can join your organization, but you have to help me destroy the Uchiha family. Uchiha Itachi looked at the masked man expressionlessly. Okay, Uchiha Obito nodded. Obito doesn't like the Uchiha family either. If you kill the Uchiha family, you can still get some Sharingan, so why not do it? Operation tonight, Uchiha Itachi said, sitting under the tree with his eyes closed. Time passed slowly, and soon it was night. There was no moonlight today, and it looked very dark. As the so-called moon black wind kills night, Uchiha Itachi and the others are going to kill. Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Obito set off and walked towards the Uchiha family, unaware that Hyuga-chen was standing on the dim streetlight. This time, Hyuga-chen also became the first street lamp king, but compared with Jin Shining, Hyuga-chen, the street lamp king, was a little poor. The golden treasure of the king is full of noble phantasms, but Hyuga-chen only has a few top noble phantasms. Those ordinary noble phantasms are trash, they are not useful. Hyuga-chen comforted himself in his heart, and instantly felt much better in his heart. The two below were walking in the dark street, with Hyuga-chen following behind. Like a ghost, Uchiha Obito and Uchiha Itachi had no idea that they were being followed. Uchiha Itachi, aren't you in the hospital? Who is this guy? Why did you bring an unidentified person into the Uchiha clan? A patrolling squad leader asked. Ha ha ha, I'm also a member of the Uchiha family, why is my identity unknown? Uchiha Obito laughed. You're also from the Uchiha clan, so what's your name? The patrol captain asked. My name is Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Obito said in a deep voice. His voice was a little low and gloomy, without the domineering of Uchiha Madara. I originally thought that Obito could be a high-quality imitation, but I didn't expect it to be a pirated product. Hyuga-chen crouched on the street lamp and shook his head. Uchiha Madara is not like this. Are you kidding me? Uchiha Madara is already dead. I suspect you are plotting against Uchiha. Take him down for me, the patrol leader shouted. But there was no movement, and the people behind didn't seem to hear his orders. The patrol captain is angry, is it going to be against me? When he turned around, the patrol captain was about to reprimand them, when a chill suddenly appeared, and he saw that his team members were already dead. Uchiha Itachi, who was holding a ninja sword with blood dripping from the knife, the patrol leader suddenly swallowed. Wasn't Uchiha Itachi ahead of him? Why did he appear behind him and kill his men? This is really killing people right under his nose. Uchiha Itachi, what the hell are you trying to do to kill your own clan? I will definitely report it to the clan leader. The patrol captain who had recovered his senses shouted angrily. Sorry, you don't have a chance. Uchiha Itachi's ninja knife pierced his heart instantly. This patrol squad leader is nothing but an elite chunin, who can't resist in front of Uchiha Itachi. It's as simple as killing a chicken. How decisive and ruthless, Uchiha Obito exclaimed. At the same time, Uchiha Obito also raised a little bit of vigilance against Uchiha Itachi. This guy can even attack his own clansmen without mercy, so he must be vigilant. Looking at Uchiha Obito's vigilant eyes, Uchiha Itachi said lightly, you are not Uchiha Madara. Although Uchiha Itachi has never seen Uchi 677 Madara, and his understanding of Uchiha Madara is only seen in the data, he is sure that the other party is definitely not Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Obito didn't explain and didn't use his mood swings. In fact, it doesn't matter whether it is Uchiha Madara or not, the important thing is to complete the plan. Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Obito entered the clan, and many people were killed by the two of them in their sleep. Among them, there is no shortage of elite jonin. The elite jonin who can be called legendary all their lives died in their sleep, which is ridiculous. But this is also normal, one has space ninjutsu, the other has superb assassination skills, and is still familiar with everything in the Uchiha tribe. So by the time Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Obito were found, half of Uchiha's clan had died. The half who died were all ninjas from the Uchiha family, not ordinary people who weren't even ninjas. Uchiha Itachi, the common man of the Uchiha family, didn't move, but that didn't mean they could survive. Uchiha Itachi doesn't kill, but they're Anbutu and Danzo's root organization. So they can't escape, they just can live a little longer. In fact, the people of the Uchiha family could find something wrong, but it was also because of the bloody smell in the air. At this time, the whole Uchiha family smelled of blood. Not to mention sensitive ninjas, even ordinary people can feel that something is wrong. This smell is too big. Chapter 346 Battle of Father and Son. Uchiha Itachi, it's you, why are you killing our clan? Yuhi, the elite of the Uchiha family, Jonin, turned on 3 Tomo Sharingan. There is nothing to explain, it's all for peace. Uchiha shouldn't have a coup, let me end this greedy and selfish clan. Uchiha Itachi said indifferently. Itachi, you are so disappointing to me. Uchiha Fugaku looked at the scene of blood, his face ashen. You should understand the consequences of the Uchiha coup, father. Uchiha Fugaku laughed angrily and roared, so you are going to destroy the Uchiha clan yourself. As the patriarch of the family, Uchiha Fugaku naturally cannot wait to be killed by Uchiha Itachi like the original. He is responsible for the entire Uchiha family because he is the patriarch of Uchiha. Hurry up, I have something to do after the end. Uchiha Obito came from behind. It's you, the guy who controlled Kyuubi, Nine Tails, to attack Konoha. Uchiha Fugaku saw the familiar mask and was instantly furious. The Uchiha family has fallen to this stage, all thanks to this masked man. Uchiha wouldn't be so ostracized by Konoha if he hadn't used Sharingan to control Kyuubi, Nine Tails. Do you know me? Uchiha Obito asked suspiciously. He remembered seeing him in the 4th and 3rd Hokage generations. Then Uchiha Obito felt that his question was stupid, and Konoha would definitely have a portrait of him. Uchiha Itachi, from now on, you are no longer my son. Uchiha Fugaku turned on Mangekyo Sharingan and looked at him indifferently. Uchiha Itachi's eyes flashed, and he chose to remain silent and did not speak. Looking at the 3 remaining elite Jonins, Uchiha Fugaku's eyes flashed with sadness. Originally, there were 7 elite Jonins in the Uchiha family, but this time they lost 4. And these 4 died silently. Death of the 4 elite Jonin, the strength of the Uchiha family was cut by half. Originally, it was not very sure to deal with the high-level Konoha, and now it is even more uncertain. Uchiha Fugaku regretted that he gave birth to such a wicked child. Fugaku used to be proud of Uchiha Itachi. After all, Uchiha Itachi has always been a famous genius of Konoha. But now Uchiha Fugaku can't wait to strangle him when he was born, and regret it. Seeing Uchiha Fugaku's guilty appearance, Uchiha Itachi felt guilty in his heart and secretly said sorry. It doesn't seem to be your business. Why are you against Uchiha? You are from Uchiha too. Uchiha Fugaku looked at the masked man with a gloomy face. Uchiha Obito was silent, not even answering his question. Hyuga-chen, who was sitting on the roof, looked at the dark sky, and now he was very curious. What reason did the school use to keep Sasuke Uchiha in the school, knowing that it was already early morning? I guess Hinata is also at school. Hyuga-chen smiled, ready to ask Hinata tomorrow. While Hyuga-chen was thinking about these messes, the battle had already started below. Uchiha Itachi and Uchiha Fugaku have already fought with kunai. This is a battle between father and son. Hyuga-chen watched this scene with relish. If it's just based on strength, Uchiha Fugaku is definitely strong, but I don't know if Uchiha Fugaku will keep his hand. Hyuga-chen said to himself. The current Uchiha Itachi is definitely not the opponent of Uchiha Fugaku. On Mangekyo Sharingan, Uchiha Fugaku is definitely skilled. Chakra is also more than Uchiha Fugaku, and his combat experience is also stronger than Uchiha Itachi. At this time, apart from releasing water, Hyuga-chen really couldn't imagine how Uchiha Fugaku would lose. Unless Uchiha Obito also goes together, the two attack Uchiha Fugaku together, which can also easily kill Uchiha Fugaku. However, inviting outsiders to beat his father is such a beautiful scene that Hyuga-chen felt aggrieved for Uchiha Fugaku even thinking about it. Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi fought a father-son battle, and Uchiha Obito stopped all the remaining ninjas. The current Uchiha Obito is not him during the Kyuubi, Nine Tails Rebellion. At that time, he relied on Kamui, a bug-level ninjutsu, and was beaten by 4 generations to escape. Now he faces the ninjas of the Uchiha family, as if he is in a no-man's land, relaxed and comfortable. Damn guy, Uchiha Itachi, if you still think you are from the Uchiha family, get out of the way. Uchiha Fugaku beat Uchiha Itachi back and charged towards Obito, who was carrying out the slaughter. Uchiha Itachi held the kunai and watched the scene quietly. Isn't this guy letting Uchiha Fugaku test Obito's strength? If that's the case, then he has a black heart. Hyuga-chan thought maliciously. Truth is not what Hyuga Tatsu guessed, but because Uchiha Itachi still has feelings for Uchiha. Seeing the clan being slaughtered, I felt a little unbearable. If Hyuga-chen knew what he was thinking, he would definitely disdain it. You have already decided to exterminate your clan, and you can't bear it. Bitch is hypocritical. This is the end. Uchiha Fugaku is definitely not Obito's opponent, Hyuga-chan said with a smile. Huh. Uchiha Itachi raised his head and looked at the roof not far away. Although it was dark at night, Uchiha Itachi still saw Hyuga-chen. Look at what I'm doing, you still care about your dad. Hyuga-chen pointed at Uchiha Fugaku, who was kicked by Uchiha Obito. What, can't you do it? Uchiha Obito looked at Uchiha Itachi, who was standing still. As for Hyuga-chen on the roof, Obito had already ignored him, and he couldn't beat him. It was also him who was angry at the end, so Obito wisely chose to ignore it. Uchiha Itachi's eyes turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. He pulled out the ninja's sword behind him, and rushed forward without hesitation. Susanoo. The black Susanoo bone blocked Uchiha Itachi's knife. Although this knife did not hurt Uchiha Fugaku, it inserted a knife in his heart. He didn't expect that Uchiha Itachi would really be ruthless and kill him. Is Konoha really that important in your heart? More important than the family, more important than my father? Uchiha Fugaku asked angrily. Uchiha Itachi was silent, as if acquiesced. Since you think Konoha is so important, then I will destroy it. Uchiha Fugaku yelled. Susanoo, who was originally only in the initial form, instantly changed into a third form, and the Baikun body was only missing 2 legs. Uchiha Fugaku is jealous. Hyuga-chan thought it was very possible. That angry roar, those words full of resentment, must be jealous. Having the son of Uchiha Itachi is the biggest tragedy in your life. Hyuga-chen sighed. Looking at Uchiha Fugaku's appearance, the black chi surrounding his body, he knew that he was full of resentment and really felt sad for him. Chapter 347 Uchiha Fugaku dies. Pulled out Susanoo's ontachi and slashed in Konoha's direction. At this time, Uchiha Fugaku has understood that it is impossible to launch a coup, and the Uchiha family may really disappear in his hands. So now he is bent on destroying Konoha. Even if he dies, he has to bite down a piece of meat in Konoha. It would be better if he could bury him with him. Father, don't be obsessed. Uchiha Itachi also used Susanoo to block Uchiha Fugaku's knife with a Yata mirror. Although the Yata mirror was cut in half by Hinata's golden wheel reincarnation before, the Yata mirror is a spiritual weapon. As long as Uchiha Itachi can still use Susanoo, he can use the Yata mirror. I'm obsessed. The angry Uchiha Fugaku laughed. Who was obsessed? The Uchiha family has been passed down for thousands of years. Is it possible to exterminate the family in my hands? I am worthy of my ancestors after death. Family, father, are your eyes limited to one family? Can you think about the village, think about the country? Uchiha Itachi said loudly. I'm going to fuck's village and country. Uchi 577 Fugaku, who was about to be mad, took a knife and chopped this Byakugan wolf to death. Hyuga-chan was stunned. and Uchiha Fugaku actually swears, but it's a little funny. Uchiha Obito glanced at Hyuga-chen, then silently killed the ninjas of the Uchiha clan. Susano was very big, but Sarutobi Hiruzen had already prepared to transfer all the people in this area. Moreover, there are not many people around the Uchiha tribe, mainly because it is too remote, so the villagers were easily transferred. Sarutobi Hiruzen also asked Anbu to set up a barrier, which is also to prevent fish from slipping through the net, but also to block the aftermath of the battle. Damn, this guy did it on purpose. Hyuga-chen, who was sitting on the roof, was now floating in the air. Just now, Uchiha Itachi didn't know if it was unintentional or intentional, and the 10-fist sword slashed towards Hyuga-chen. Whether it's intentional or unintentional, it can't be done like this, it actually affects innocent people. Hyuga-chen said angrily. He has a good sword and shield, so I'll keep it. Hyuga-chen fell on top of Uchiha Itachi Susano. Rinnegan God Eater. Uchiha Itachi fell to his knees suddenly, he felt something in his eyes, being forcibly taken away. At this time, Uchiha Itachi Susano's 10-fist sword and Yata mirror have disappeared and will never appear again. That's the price. Hyuga-chen's voice came clearly into Uchiha Itachi's ears. Uchiha Itachi had blood and tears in his eyes, and he knew what Hyuga-chen was talking about. The attack just now was indeed intentional by Uchiha Itachi. He wanted to seal Hyuga Tatsu, a dangerous person who might cause damage to Konoha, but the result was naturally a failure. The 10-fist sword, which could seal everything, passed through Hyuga-chen's body without touching Hyuga-chen at all. Uchiha Itachi can be sure that it was definitely space ninjutsu just now, exactly the same space ninjutsu as the masked man posing as Uchiha Madara. Uchiha Obito has killed all the ninjas of the Uchiha family. Mokudan wood-style ninjutsu, although it is only a semi-finished product, has a great range of lethality. Glancing at this side, Uchiha Obito lowered his head and collected Sharingan silently. It's better not to attract Hyuga-chen's attention at this time, and he must have already told him that even Uchiha Madara is not Hyuga-chen's opponent, so let him not provoke Hyuga-chen. Hyuga-chen finds a place to continue watching their father and son fight each other. Although the third form of Susano is not as destructive as the complete body, it can shatter a hill with one punch, and split the earth with one sword, and its power is also very powerful. The land of the Uchiha clan has been completely shattered, and the ordinary people of the Uchiha clan have all lost their lives in the aftermath of the battle. Susano's power is really powerful. Uchiha Obito's eyes flashed with admiration. When not using Susano, Uchiha Obito can easily defeat Uchiha Fugaku, but after using Susano, it seems that Uchiha Fugaku can also be easily defeated. Uchiha Obito can completely use space ninjutsu to enter Susano's interior. Third form of Susano, the foot is the weak point. This foot is not the foot of Susano. The third form has no feet, but the foot of the caster. The third form, Susano, is only half length. People are standing on the ground, attacking from the ground, completely unable to defend. Incomplete Susano is not so invincible. Uchiha Itachi's Susano is powerful because of the 3 artifacts. Now 2 of the 3 artifacts have been abolished by Hyuga-chen, and the other Tomo of Yasaka can be anyone, more like a general-purpose ninjutsu. Tomo of Yasaka. I saw that Uchiha Fugaku and Uchiha Itachi used Tomo of Yasaka at the same time. As expected of father and son, they have a tacit understanding. Tomo of Yasaka can only be used while in second form, so both of them degenerate to second form. This is also because they can't hold on to the third form. Although the third form is powerful, it consumes more and they can't hold on anymore. I haven't even held it for 3 minutes, I'm more useless than Bumpman. Hyuga-chen complained. Let me help you. Impatient Uchiha Obito used Kamui, passed through Susano, and instantly stabbed Uchiha Fugaku in the chest with a kunai. In Konoha is not short, and the most important thing is that there is a Hyuga-chen next to him, which is very dangerous. Uchiha Obito does not want to stay in Konoha anymore. Uchiha Fugaku vomited blood, and looked at Uchiha Obito, who passed through Susanoo and entered the interior with a look of disbelief. Hard, Uchiha Fugaku's Susanoo collapsed. Cough cough tilde, half knelt on the ground, Uchiha Fugaku's eyes calmed down. I gave him half my life, let's you deal with it. Uchiha Obito backed away, looking at Uchiha Itachi. Hyuga-chen watched with interest. He wanted to know what Uchiha Itachi would do. Can he really do it? Truth is that Uchiha Itachi really can do it. Walked over to Uchiha Fugaku with a blank face, looked at Uchiha Fugaku's calm eyes, and stabbed the knife into his heart mercilessly. Uchiha Fugaku, who originally said he had something to say, died just like that. I can't rest my eyes. Without even uttering the last line, Uchiha Fugaku stared blankly. Looking at his father's Mangekyo Sharingan, Uchiha Itachi thought about it, and finally chose to destroy his father's eyes. A pair of Mangekyo Sharingan, just ruined. Uchiha Obito felt a little pity. Hyuga-chen didn't feel it. As Hyuga-chen, who had lost a pair of Rinnegan and a pair of Tenseigan, his heart didn't fluctuate. I don't want my Mangekyo Sharingan to be used after my father's death. Uchiha Itachi said calmly, but he was not at all calm. Killing his own father with his own hands, the fluctuations in Uchiha Itachi's heart are unimaginable by others. I am about to lose my sight, even if someone else gets it, what's the use? Hyuga-chen whispered. Chapter 348 My Stupid Odudo tilde. Tisk tisk, Uchiha Itachi, you are the person I admire most from today. Hyuga-chen is ashamed. Hyuga-chen patted Uchiha Itachi on the shoulder, then turned to leave. Being able to kill his own father with a blank face, Hyuga-chen said that he could never do it. After Hyuga-chen left, Uchiha Obito breathed a sigh of relief. Hyuga-chen was here as if he had a knife around his neck, and it could be cut off anytime, anywhere. Leave with me. There are a lot of people outside. Without me, it would be difficult for you to even go out with Konoha. Amy Obito said. You leave first. I'll find you. Uchiha Itachi shook his head. He wanted to wait for Sasuke, and he could leave with confidence only when he saw that Sasuke was alright. Okay, I hope you don't ask for help. Uchiha Obito gave Uchiha Itachi a meaningful look, then used space ninjutsu to leave. At dawn, Uchiha Sasuke dragged his tired body and walked towards home. The school doesn't know what's going on, what kind of test is going to be conducted at night, and it's sleepy and tiring all night. In fact, the teachers at the school are also very puzzled, but this is what Hokage ordered, and they can only do it. Is this the direction of my house? Could it be the wrong way? Uchiha Sasuke had a bad feeling at this time, but he wanted to escape. Looking at the ruins, the cracks in the earth, the pitted ground, Uchiha Sasuke strode forward. Brother. Seeing Uchiha Itachi in front, Uchiha Sasuke seemed to find support and ran over immediately. Brother, what's going on? How could this be? After Sasuke walked in, he was horrified when he saw the dark blood and his father lying on the ground. As you can see, I destroyed Uchiha. Uchiha Itachi turned around. His body was dyed a dark yuhi color with blood, and a strong smell of blood rushed to his face. Sasuke retched from the smell of blood. Brother, you lied to me, right? That's not the case, right? Sasuke grabbed Uchiha Itachi's clothes, his body trembling. Ha ha ha, don't lie to your own Sasuke, it's Uchiha that I destroyed, my stupid Odudo tilde. Uchiha Itachi waved Sasuke open. And he shot Uchiha Sasuke flying more than 10 meters, and Sasuke was in pain and couldn't get up at all. Tears welled up in Sasuke's eyes as he grasped the deep yuhi, as if the land could seep blood. Why are you doing this? Uchiha Sasuke growled. I'm just measuring my breath. Uchiha Itachi came over and looked at Uchiha Sasuke condescendingly. You kill me too. Sasuke Uchiha had a look of despair on his face, completely unable to accept that his most admired brother would destroy the family. You You don't deserve to be killed by me, you don't even deserve to be killed by me, you bastard. Uchiha Itachi kicked him away. Asshole, if you don't kill me, then I will kill you. Uchiha Sasuke pulled out kunai and stabbed Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi grabbed Sasuke's wrist with ease, letting the kunai in his hand go nowhere. You are so weak, you want to kill me too, dreaming. Uchiha Itachi squeezed Sasuke's wrist slightly. Ah! Uchiha Sasuke let out a pitiful scream like a pig. This is unbearable, you bastard. Uchiha Itachi broke Uchiha Sasuke's other wrist, and Uchiha Sasuke shouted again like a pig. Severe pain, it is a luxury for Uchiha Sasuke to faint. Sasuke Uchiha didn't understand why when he went to the hospital to see him in the morning, he was fine, but he came to destroy the family at night. One day, I will kill you bastard with my own hands. Sasuke Uchiha yelled. Shouting can't change your weakness, fear me. You will always live in my shadow from now on. Uchiha Itachi said indifferently. Under my eyes, you will always be a humble ant. Uchiha Itachi turned on Mangekyo Sharingan, and the enormous pressure made Uchiha Sasuke unable to lift his head. Uchiha Sasuke Kiba gritted his teeth, swearing in his heart that as long as he was alive, he would take revenge. He wants to make Uchiha Itachi pay. He wants to make Uchiha Itachi repent for the death of his clan. Thinking of his father who died from a heart-piercing, Sasuke Uchiha asked tremblingly, You bastard, could it be that your father is also? Yes, I killed it. Uchiha Itachi admitted directly. I can also show you how I killed my father and destroyed my family. Uchiha Itachi grabbed Uchiha Sasuke's hair and made him look into his eyes. Tsukuyomi, Uchiha Itachi whispered. Uchiha Sasuke is pulled into Tsukuyomi's demonic illusion space, where Uchiha Itachi shows Uchiha Sasuke the process of extermination. Of course, it's not comprehensive, and Uchiha Itachi has also changed a little, like Hyuga-chen and Uchiha Obito's figures, did not appear at all. How is it? Isn't it beautiful? Uchiha Itachi asked coldly. Uchiha Sasuke's red eyes Yuhi, a black tadpole-like Tomo, twirled in his eyes. Uchiha Sasuke turned on Sharingan. The joy in Uchiha Itachi's eyes flickered, and he returned to his original expressionless face again. Turning on Sharingan, Uchiha Sasuke's mental stimulation was too great, the body's self-protection mechanism was turned on, and then he lost consciousness. Uchiha Itachi hurriedly released Tsukuyomi, and then quickly checked Uchiha Sasuke's body, and was relieved to find that he just fainted. Looking at Sasuke, a trace of complexity flashed in his eyes, and then Uchiha Itachi walked away quickly. After walking out of the Uchiha clan and entering the Konoha forest, Uchiha Itachi suddenly realized that something was wrong, and the surrounding smell was a little weird. Uchiha Itachi quickly held his breath, his body tightened, and a faint sense of danger came from all directions. Uchiha Itachi, where do you missing nin who destroyed the Uchiha clan want to go? Danzo walked out with the people from the root organization and surrounded Uchiha Itachi. Danzo. Uchiha Itachi's face was ashen, and he knew it was Danzo. What do you want? Uchiha Itachi secretly took out his kunai, his right hand hidden in his sleeve was ready to hand seal at any time. You are the missing nin of Konoha, naturally kill you, do it. Danzo waved, Kaden fire style, futon, wind style, used together. Uchiha Itachi's speed is very fast, one-handed hand seal, the instant body technique leaves the place, and quickly flees into the distance. He consumes too much and is not an opponent of the root organization at all. It is the best strategy to escape now. Uchiha Itachi is not a reckless person. Follow me, never let him run away. The root group and Uchiha Itachi started a chase, but fortunately Uchiha Itachi is familiar here. Relying on his familiarity with the terrain, Uchiha Itachi was able to escape the siege and interception of the root tissue several times. Chapter 349, The Pursuit of Danzo. Danzo, this vile bastard. Uchiha Itachi leaned against the tree, panting violently. The stinging pain all over his body came, and Uchiha Itachi sat on the ground, calming the pain in his body. As Hyuga-chen said before, his body is weak and the after effects of using Susanoo are stronger than others. In fact, his best choice was to leave with Uchiha Obito before, but in order to see Sasuke again and give him a growth goal, he chose to stay and wait for Sasuke to come back. Crow clone. Uchiha Itachi split out a special clone and let him run in the other direction. I don't want to be able to deceive the people of the Root Organization, but I only hope to be able to lure a part of the people of the Root Organization away, which can also relieve his pressure. Stand up, keep running forward, and you will be able to leave Konoha immediately. Although it may not be safe after leaving Konoha, it is still safer than now. Itachi, you seem very embarrassed. Do you want me to call someone to help you? Ju emerged from the ground. No need, I can leave by myself. Uchiha Itachi said indifferently, and then he stopped talking nonsense, ran straight forward, and jumped quickly in the woods without making a sound. After Uchiha Itachi left, a Uzumaki appeared beside Ju, and Uchiha Obito came out. Obito, do you think Uchiha Itachi is reliable? White Zetsu asked. It doesn't matter if it's unreliable, I never trusted anyone in Akatsuki, they are the tools for my plan. Uchiha Obito said grimly. What about Lord Chen? White Zetsu asked cautiously. Uchiha Obito's face darkened. Uchiha Madara couldn't do anything about Hyuga Chen, what could he do? Isn't he collaborating with Uchiha Madara? Could it still be a mess? Lord Chen's thoughts, who can know? Even Madara-sama can't see through. White Zetsu shook his head and said. I'll follow. If Uchiha Itachi is in danger, I'll save him. After all, he's a good pawn. Uchiha Obito followed. Black Zetsu, I feel that Uchiha Obito wants to betray Madara-sama, what do you think? White Zetsu asked Black Zetsu, the other half of his body. Just do your own thing, Uchiha Obito is just a pawn. He can't turn the tide. Black Zetsu said in a low voice. In fact, Uchiha Obito doesn't care if Black Zetsu has a dissent, he only cares if he can complete the final plan. Sometimes it doesn't matter how the process is. Although people always say that the process is important, the most important thing is the result. Saying that the process is important is just the comfort that the losers find for themselves. Even if Uchiha Obito has a different heart, he's not afraid, Madara-sama still left behind. Black Zetsu smiled coldly. Playing wit with him, Uchiha Obito is obviously too tender. Uchiha Madara's body is the backhand left by Black Zetsu, but he knows that there is a forbidden technique called impure world reincarnation. Black Zetsu is still very confident in Uchiha Madara's strength. As long as Hyuga Tatsu doesn't come to make trouble, and Otsutsuki Hagoromo doesn't mess up the situation, nothing will happen. Thinking of Otsutsuki Hagoromo, Black Zetsu's face was gloomy, and of course his face didn't look gloomy. Otsutsuki Hagoromo wasn't dead, and Black Zetsu had to think about his purpose. Black Zetsu, who has played conspiracy for thousands of years, has always speculated on others with malice. He thinks that Guy Otsutsuki Hagoromo definitely has a conspiracy and even affects his plans. This is indeed the case. In the original work, Black Zetsu was sealed together with Otsutsuki Kagaya before he could show his ambitions. Maybe I can make use of Hyuga Chen and make him meet Otsutsuki Hagoromo, then I can make a profit. Black Zetsu thought in his mind. To be said that Black Zetsu is bold and has already put his mind on Hyugatatsu's head. Uchiha Itachi was surrounded and had several wounds on his body, which were wounded by Danzo's futon wind style. Danzo is cunning, and Uchiha Itachi's crow avatar didn't deceive him. Uchiha Itachi, you are at the end of the road, hurry up and hand over Uchiha Shisui's Mangekyo Sharingan, I know his Mangekyo is with you. Uchiha Itachi didn't say a word, and held Kunai's hand even tighter, his actions directly showing his determination. Shisui's Mangekyo Sharingan is too powerful, he must not let Shisui's Mangekyo fall into Danzo's hands. Otherwise, he may be the first to use it on the 3 generations of Hokage. Shisui's Mangekyo Sharingan has been ruined, so don't think about it. Uchiha Itachi said lightly. Ruined? Do you think I'd believe it? Danzo sneered, really taking him for a fool. At this moment, a ninja from the root organization rushed over and came to Danzo's side. Lord Danzo, Uchiha Fugaku's Mangekyo Sharingan is ruined. What? Danzo's face darkened immediately. After Uchiha Itachi left, he let his men dig Uchiha Fugaku's Mangekyo Sharingan. Originally, Danzo was thinking of getting a pair of Mangekyo Sharingan. I didn't expect that a basin of cold water was poured down, and Danzo felt cold and distressed. It was you who destroyed Mangekyo Sharingan. Danzo looked at Uchiha Itachi gloomily, the murderous intent in his eyes undisguised. Amaterasu. Uchiha Itachi's 3 tomo spun quickly and turned into Mangekyo Sharingan. Seeing Uchiha Itachi open Mangekyo Sharingan, Danzo became vigilant and hurriedly pulled the ninja who reported the message to block him. Although Amaterasu can burn black flames as long as he is in the focus of his line of sight, it does not mean that this move is easy to hit people. Danzo, for example, cracked Amaterasu with ease. Uchiha Itachi closed his right eye, blood flowed out, looked at the screaming ninja in front of Danzo, and said coldly, "Despicable guy." Despicable. There is no despicableness in this world. Only the strong can decide everything. The reason why a missing nin in Hyuga-chan can stay in Konoha is because he is strong. If I have such strong power, the position of Hokage will be mine. Danzo's eyes flashed a trace of madness. A person like you can never give you power. Uchi 3.1 Itachi has decided that if he can't escape, he will destroy Shisui and his Mangekyo. It's not up to you. Danzo instructed the root ninja, who could seal the fire, to seal Amaterasu's black flames. Amaterasu's black flame is inextinguishable, and it must be sealed. If left alone, the black flame can burn into the Konoha. Give it all to me, use sweetened water style. Danzo ordered. Uchiha is good at Kaden fire style ninjutsu, and using sweetened water style just restrained him. A dozen or so Jonin used the sweetened water style together, and the power was a bit scary, and the trees were washed down by the flood. Uchiha Itachi's face was extremely ugly, such a large-scale attack did not give him a chance to dodge. Susanoo. Uchiha Itachi didn't care about his body anymore, and forced Susanoo to block the sweetened water style used by more than a dozen Jonin at the cost of his lifespan. Chapter 350 Danzo, you have changed. Let me go. Susanoo, who was nearly 60 meters tall, punched the ninjas at the root organization, and the huge fist made them spread out immediately. With such a big fist, what did they use to defend? Uchiha Itachi hurriedly disarmed Susanoo while the root tissue dissipated, and immediately fled. Uchiha Itachi's condition was very poor, his body was in piercing pain, blood spurted out of his mouth without money, and his jet black hair was a little dry. Although Susanoo is powerful, every time he uses it, he will fight for his life. For the Uchiha people who are not eternal Mangekyo, Susanoo can only be used as a whole card. It can only be said that Mangekyo Sharingan is too fragile, and Uchiha Sasuke will be blind after using Mangekyo Sharingan for a long time. Of course, this does not rule out the reason for the abuse of Uchiha Sasuke. The frequency of use is high, and the natural blindness is also fast. Can't run, chase after me. Danzo ran after him with a livid face. This is the best chance to kill Uchiha Itachi. If you can't kill Uchiha Itachi this time, it will be harder to kill him later. It's so embarrassing. Itachi. Uchiha Obito 28 stood in front, with ridicule in his voice. Uchiha Itachi stopped, and when he saw Uchiha Obito, he knew he was safe. The other party tried his best to pull him into that mysterious organization, and he would never let him die easily. It's you guy. Danzo, who was chasing after him, looked at the masked man with a gloomy face, feeling a little bad in his heart. Uchiha Obito looked at Danzo's bandaged right arm, and he felt a familiar breath on it. If Uchiha Obito felt right, it should be the cells of the original Hokage. On your right arm, are the cells of the first generation of Hokage transplanted. Although Uchiha Obito questioned, but his voice was affirmative, he believed that his feeling was not wrong. Danzo's eyes narrowed. Only Orochimaru knew about his transplant of the first-generation cells. How did this mysterious person know Akatsuki? Danzo not only transplanted the primary cells, but also transplanted many Sharingan in the arm. The primary cells are not so easy to transplant. In order to prevent the primary cells from engulfing their own cells, he transplanted the power of the Sharingan to neutralize the primary cells. Knowing so much, it seems that I can't keep you, Danzo said coldly. Once it was revealed that he transplanted the primary cells, everyone would be shouting and beating all over Konoha. Uchiha Itachi looked at Danzo coldly, not expecting that Danzo would desecrate the corpse of the original Hokage. For the original Hokage Senju Hashirama, Uchiha Itachi is very respectful. Not just Uchiha Itachi, many people in the Uchiha family respect Senju Hashirama. Perhaps this is also Senju Hashirama's personality charm. It is also a skill to be respected by the people of the hostile family. I don't have time to play with you this time, we'll have a date later. Uchiha Obito grabbed Uchiha Itachi's shoulder and used Kamui to leave. Bastard, you ran away. Danzo roared angrily, punching the tree next to him. If you run away, run away. Why are you so angry and hurt so much? Hyuga Chen jumped down from the broken tree. Danzo was startled and hurriedly asked, why are you here? I've always been here, but you haven't seen it. Hyuga Chen said lightly. However, he was sitting on the tree very well, but Danzo broke the tree with a punch. Hyuga-chan hasn't settled for him yet. Instead he asked me. What do you want to do? Danzo stepped back, watching Hyuga Chen warily. Hyuga Chen was speechless. I just moved my hands and feet to see if I scared you. Danzo, I found that you have changed. You are no longer the Danzo you used to be. Hyuga-chan shook his head. He remembered that when Danzo saw him before, he was so timid as he is now. Danzo was silent. It was undeniable that he was indeed afraid of Hyuga Chen, and the fear in his heart rose uncontrollably when facing Hyuga Chen. His right eye and right arm were all lost because of Hyuga Chen, and he was beaten up several times by Hyuga Chen. Danzo is not a fish with only 7 seconds of memory. Suffered so much, Danzo will naturally not provoke Hyuga Chen like a fool again. Seeing Hyuga Chen now, Danzo wants to walk around. It's really boring. Hyuga Chen moved his wrists and walked away. Danzo stepped back, watching Hyuga Chen move his wrist. He thought Hyuga Chen was going to beat him. In fact, Hyuga Chen had no intention of hitting him. Seeing Hyuga Chen leave directly, Danzo breathed a sigh of relief, and then felt ashamed for his previous actions. After Hyuga Chen went back, it was already completely bright, and Hinata also came back and was sleeping at home. At noon, Hinata woke up. Brother Chen, the school gave our class 2 days off. Hinata said softly. Holiday. Hyuga Chen also understood that it must be the school's compensation for them, giving them 2 days of vacation. After a morning of fermentation, the whole of Konoha knew that the Uchiha family was wiped out by Uchiha Itachi. And Konoha executives also defined Uchiha Itachi as an S-class missing nin, and also sent someone to hunt him down symbolically. Of course, this chase was just a pretense. Sarutobi Hiruzen just sent people out for a spin and let them come back. Uchiha Sasuke, the only survivor of Uchiha, was sent to the hospital by Anbu's ninjas. Many people felt sympathy for the survivors of the Uchiha family. Although Uchiha Sasuke looks miserable and seems to be tortured, in fact, the injury is not serious, and it will only take a few days to be discharged from the hospital. 833 Akatsuki Base. Uchiha Itachi walked in slowly, wearing Akatsuki's black, bottomed Yui Cloud trench coat. Boss, who is this newcomer? Tell us, Hidan asked curiously. Won't be a rubbish. I don't want to do things with a rubbish, or I might accidentally kill him. Kakuzu gave a cruel smile. I hope it's a good experimental material. My material seems to be a little insufficient, so just give me a supplement. Orochimaru licked the corner of his mouth. Just wait. Heavenly Path Pain glanced at them and said lightly. Of course he wouldn't say he didn't know who it was, otherwise wouldn't it be embarrassing? However, this is the person that Uchiha Madara found, so his strength should not be bad. Boss, can I dedicate that guy Matsuri to the evil god? Hidan waved the bloody march sickle in his hand. In Akatsuki, cannibalism is not allowed. If I find out, you will figure out the consequences for yourself. Heavenly Path Pain warned. Especially warn Orochimaru. Most of the other people have been addicted to the mouth, and generally do not do it, but this guy Orochimaru is different, and must be warned. Orochimaru shrugged and smiled wickedly. If this newly added guy really has any precious Kekkei Genkai, he will definitely shoot without hesitation. Chapter 351 Akatsuki Staff. In Akatsuki was discussing, Uchiha Itachi walked in slowly, looking at the huge Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path. Uchiha Itachi couldn't help but be surprised. To Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, his Susanoo is a bit small. Who I thought was, it turned out to be Itachi. I remember we met before. Orochimaru's mouth was full of smiles, and the greed in his vertical pupils was not concealed. It turned out to be you. Your name is very famous these days. I think I dedicate your Matsuri to the evil god. The evil god will definitely like it. Ahahaha. Hidan laughed wildly. Uchiha Itachi, in the underground black market, your head is very valuable. Kakuzu's eyes were as greedy as Orochimaru's. Just that Orochimaru wants Mangekyo Sharingan, and Kakuzu sees Uchiha Itachi as a moving bill. Speaking of Konoha's missing nin is a bit too much. Orochimaru, Senju Nawaki, Uchiha Itachi, Akatsuki, a total of 8 people, your Konoha's missing nin occupies 3. Sasori said lightly. Akatsuki now have Nagato, Kakuzu, Nawaki, Orochimaru, Sasori, Ju, Hidan, Uchiha Itachi. Indeed, 3 of the 8 were from Konoha, and if Obito was included, 4 of the 9 were from Konoha. While they were looking at Uchiha Itachi was also looking at them with a heavy heart. Except for the guy with the bloody march scythe who is about the same age as him, everyone else can bring him a faint threat. The biggest threat to him is Heavenly Path Pain and Nawaki. Nagato has Rinnegan, and his strength has entered the Super Shadow. It is Uchiha Itachi in his heyday, and he is not Nagato's opponent. Although Heavenly Path Pain is only a part of Nagato's strength, it is his strongest strength, and the Heavenly Path Pain controlled by Nagato can also exert Super Shadow strength. This guy Nawaki is incredible. He has successfully awakened Mokuden, wood style. This is not Yamato's half-hearted Mokuden, wood style, but a Mokuden, wood style like Senju Hashirama. With Nawaki's current strength, it is estimated that Nagato will also retreat by 3 points. If Nawaki can learn Sage Mode and use Mokuden, wood style, Senpo, Sage Art, Nagato will also be hanged and beaten by him. Orochimaru, one of the Sannin, is actually among Akatsuki. Uchiha Itachi felt the horror of this mysterious Akatsuki. Welcome to Akatsuki, from now on you are Suzaku of Akatsuki. Heavenly Path Pain threw a ring to Uchiha Itachi. Uchiha Itachi took the ring and nodded silently. Akatsuki is free and doesn't care what you do, but when you have a mission, you have to come, Heavenly Path Pain said. Uchiha Itachi nodded again. Are you dumb? You can't speak a word. I think it's better to offer your Matsuri to the evil god. Hidan jumped from the fingers of Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, and the sickle went straight to Uchiha Itachi. Watching this scene, Heavenly Path Pain didn't stop him. He also wanted to see how strong Uchiha Itachi, who is specially recommended by this, Uchiha Madara, and could destroy the Uchiha clan. Hidan is going to be miserable. Uchiha Itachi is a ruthless person who can kill even his own family. Will Hidan be killed? Sasori of the Red Sand watched this scene with interest. I also want to see the power of Mangekyo Sharingan again. Orochimaru stuck out his tongue and licked the corner of his mouth. If you can't beat this guy Hidan, then trade his head for money, Kakuzu said. Naoki didn't speak, and looked at Uchiha Itachi's eyes with some incomprehension. Why did Uchiha Itachi destroy his own family? Uchiha Itachi looked at Hidan, who was attacking him directly. His eyes flickered. It seemed that if he didn't show some strength, he would be in trouble in the future. This is a terrorist organization, not a village. You can't show weakness here, and you will be bullied if you show weakness. On 3 Tomo Sharingan, Uchiha Itachi releases a demonic illusion on Hidan, and Hidan immediately falls into the demonic illusion. Pulling out the ninja sword in his hand, he pierced Hidan's heart without hesitation. The stimulation of pain made Hidan wake up from demonic illusion. Looking at the ninja knife piercing his heart, Hidan laughed frantically. It's really exciting. Give me a few more knives if you have the ability, ha ha ha. What's going on? Uchiha Itachi frowned. He was an ordinary person, and now he has died. Why does Hidan seem to be nothing? Dedicate your Matsuri to the evil god, and the evil god will surely reward me. The sickle slashed towards Uchiha Itachi's head. A faint sense of crisis made Uchiha Itachi wake up, and he took out Kunwu's scythe to block Hidan's scythe. He was knocked back several steps, and his arms were shaking. This guy is so powerful, Uchiha Itachi said inwardly. In addition to the spell, the dead body with blood and the body of immortality, taijutsu is Hidan's best ability to use his hands. Magic, the art of hanging. Hidan felt his limbs being smashed into wedges, unable to move at all, and was accompanied by physical pain. Pain made Hidan make a sound of relief or misery. But with the appearance of Hidan's pervert, perhaps the pain is just enjoyment for him. Hidan's demonic illusion is not strong enough to break free from Uchiha Itachi's demonic illusion. After all, demonic illusion is Uchiha Itachi's strongest item. Hidan is too weak. A demonic illusion was settled, and he doesn't deserve to join our Akatsuki. Kakuzu said, dissatisfied. Now he teamed up with Hidan to become Akatsuki's undead duo, but Kakuzu couldn't stand Hidan's procrastination, which kept him from making money. However, Kakuzu and Hidan are more powerful in cooperation, and Hidan's immortality can be perfectly displayed. If Hidan's limbs and head fell off, he could also have Kakuzu sew it back up. The strength is good, I admit you. Sasori of the Red Sand said lightly. As long as he is not weaker than Hidan, he can accept it. All right. Poor Hidan is completely reduced to Akatsuki's measuring instrument, and those who are weaker than Hidan should not be. But it is definitely an exception. After all, it is definitely not a fighter, but an intelligence officer. This is acceptable. Hidan guy, with such a weak strength, I strongly ask the leader to replace me with a teammate. Kakuzu said. After all, the people in his group were settled, and Kakuzu's face was dull. More importantly, he wanted to get rid of the Hidan guy and was comfortable with Naoki before. Heavenly Path Pain ignored it. He also had to consider a lot of grouping. The combination of Kakuzu and Hidan was obviously the best choice. Uchiha Itachi, you are temporarily with Senju Naoki. Heavenly Path Pain said lightly. It's funny that Uchiha and Senju are in the same group. Orochimaru had a wicked smile on his face. Others also showed the look of watching a good show. After all, Uchiha and Senju are feuds. Even if the two clans joined hands to establish Konoha later, it has not changed. Senju Naoki is calm, Senju and Uchiha are gone. What is there to hate? Not to hate. Now Naoki only hates Danzo. Chapter 352. Let Hyuga Chen get out of here. Sister, where is brother Chen? Hyuga Hanabi pushed the door and came in, seeing only Hinata, who was cultivating in the small courtyard. Not only asked curiously. Sleep in the house, don't disturb you. Hinata stopped practicing, walked over and touched Hanabi's little head. The lazy pig is still sleeping, the sun has risen. Hanabi said with contempt. completely forgetting that he had just woken up. Hanabi came here to avoid disasters because she woke up late and was educated by her father, Hyuga Hiyashi. Now that I heard that Hyuga-chen hadn't woken up yet, the little girl felt very unbalanced. Why should I be scolded for waking up late? You haven't woken up yet, and no one will talk about you. The unbalanced little girl decided that she would not have a good time, and she would not let Hyuga-chen feel better. Angrily, he ran to the door, stretched out his small hand and slapped the door hard, and his little hand patted Yuhi. Hanabi is obedient. Don't disturb brother. Brother Chen got up so late because he was tired. Hinata walked over and hugged Hanabi. He's playing 10-10, how could he be tired? I don't believe it, he's obviously lazy. Hanabi pouted. Hinata looked embarrassed and wanted to defend Hyuga-chen, but she couldn't find a reason to defend it. Little girl, what are you talking about? Are you saying I'm lazy? Hyuga-chen opened the door and asked with a worried expression. He didn't actually sleep, he was just lying on the bed and chatting with Snoheim in the system space. Hanabi's words were clearly heard. It's what it is. Why don't people tell me? Hanabi pouted, not afraid of Hyuga-chen at all. You unscrupulous little guy, you forgot that I gave you candy. You actually said that. I won't give you candy in the future. Hyuga-chen tugged Hanabi's face. If you don't give it, you won't give it, I don't care. Hanabi opened Hyuga-chan's hand angrily and ran to the side, squatting and sulking. Hey Tilda, I'm still angry. I'm young, so my temper is not small. Hyuga-chen said. Then Hyuga-chen squeezed Hinata's face and said, You mean, Hinata? Hinata pointed her 2 fingers. Her face was full of Yuhi. She wanted to say something but couldn't say it because she was shy, and was about to cry. Hinata, you are so shy, even Hanabi is better than you. Hyuga-chen helplessly rubbed Hinata's little head. Hanabi's small ears moved in the distance, and a happy smile appeared on his face. Then the little mouth pouted again. Don't think that if you praised me, I will forgive you. Hinata looked disappointed, and inwardly blamed herself for not being able to live up to her expectations. Hinata, you don't have to be lost. Your character is innate, it's hard to change, and you don't need to change it deliberately. Hyuga-chen looked at the lost Hinata and comforted. I don't know how to comfort me. Little Hanabi was jealous, and regardless of whether the ground was dirty or not, he sat on the ground and sulked. I see, thank you brother Chen. Hinata smiled softly, but not as shy as before. Come on little girl, I'll take you out to relax, don't get angry, you are so angry at a young age, be careful that your mouth will make you angry. Hyuga-chen walked over to Hanabi and pulled her up. Your mouth is crooked, Hanabi said, sniffling. Hinata together. Hyuga-chen reached out and pulled Hinata. But I still need to practice. Hinata said hesitantly. In fact, she really wanted to hang out with Hyuga-chen, but she didn't want to delay her practice. Let's go. Don't be in a hurry. Cultivation also pays attention to the combination of work and rest. Hyuga-chen didn't give Hinata a chance to say anything, and pulled Hinata out of the yard. Hyuga-chen, you bastard, come out, I'm going to kill you. Uchiha Sasuke held a short blade, Yuhi shouted. For the sake of you being an orphan of Uchiha, get out of here, this is the Hyuga family, not a place for you to run wild. A genin guard from the Hyuga family pushed Sasuke Uchiha out. Isn't it? Someone scolded me as soon as I went out. Hyuga-chen was speechless, he hadn't gone out to cause trouble all this time. And the sound was a little familiar. Damn, how dare you come to the Hyuga family to run wild, such a big dog. Hanabi was upset. Running to the Hyuga family is not what makes her the most angry. The most angry is that someone scolds one of her favorite people. The little girl Hanabi is very unhappy. Hanabi's favorite people are of course her sisters Hinata and Hyuga-chen. Although she just had a quarrel with Hyuga-chen, it's not enough if someone scolds him. Hinata was also angry, and Hinata also heard whose voice it was. Brother Tatsu, it's Sasuke Uchiha's voice. Hinata looked up at Hyuga Tatsu and said, Uchiha Sasuke, it's the guy whose family was destroyed. Let's see how I teach him. Hanabi said savagely. Released Hinata's hand, Hanabi ran towards the gate. Who allowed you to yell here? Hanabi said, running to the door, pointing at Uchiha Sasuke. Second miss, you're here. The guard hurried over to salute. The Hyuga family's rules are very strict. What are you doing to eat? To let an outsider yell at our door, isn't it a disgrace to our Hyuga family? Hanabi reprimanded while pinching his waist. Don't look at Hanabi as only 2 years old, but he reprimanded people in a set way, but the voice was milky, and the deterrence was not enough. Of course, this escort has a great deterrent effect. Although Hanabi was milky, if this second lady spoke in front of the patriarch, he would definitely be in big trouble. So in the face of Hanabi's milky words, the guard stayed in a cold sweat. Let Hyuga-chen get out of here for me. Sasuke Uchiha's hand holding the knife trembled a little. You dare to shout, teach me to teach him a lesson. Hanabi said angrily. Understood the second lady. The guard walked towards Uchiha Sasuke with a cold face. It was this guy who provoked it, and he wanted to teach him a lesson. Just that Sasuke Uchiha is now an orphan. If he teaches him a lesson, he may be gossiped by others, and he may be blamed by the patriarch at that time. But now that the second young lady is backing him, he is no longer afraid. Go up and punch and kick Uchiha Sasuke. Stop, what are you doing? Why are you hitting someone? Don't you know that hitting someone is bad? Hyuga-chen came over and grabbed the guard who wanted to make a kick. Brother Chen, he scolds you. They teach him a lesson for you. You don't know how to be a good person and ignore you. Hanabi turned his head unhappily. Hanabi, why are you so stupid? Hyuga-chen lowered his body and said softly, if you beat him like this now, if you are seen, will it affect the reputation of the Hyuga family? But when he scolds you, I want to teach him a lesson. Hanabi pouted. Let me do this. After all, people came to me, I would like to know why this guy came to me. Hyuga-chen said. Uchiha Sasuke scolding him, naturally can't be ignored, but Hyuga-chen is also curious why Uchiha Sasuke came to him. Chapter 353 Orochimaru betrays Akatsuki. Little devil, I don't seem to care about you much, do I? Hyuga-chen said lightly. Humph. Did you say that you ordered that bastard to exterminate the clan? Uchiha Sasuke stood up and looked at Hyuga-chen with hatred. What did I instruct? What did I instruct him to do? Hyuga-chen was a little baffled. Why did this guy think he instructed Uchiha Itachi to exterminate the clan? Bastard, you still don't admit it. Uchiha Sasuke pulled out his ninja sword and slashed at Hyuga-chen. Admit. I admit it's a fart. Hyuga-chen kicked him out with one kick. He clearly didn't do anything, so what should he admit? The short blade in Uchiha's assistant flew out of his hand, struggling on the ground, blood dripping from the corner of his mouth. At the ninja school that day, didn't you say you have a good relationship with that person, or it's okay to let him exterminate the clan? Uchiha Sasuke struggled to stand up, the hatred in his eyes increased greatly. Did I say so? It seems that Brother Chen, you did say it. Hanabi pinched his chin and thought for a while, then nodded. Hyuga-chen thought about it and found that he did say it, but he was just joking. I didn't expect the second Jinchuriki column-son with insufficient IQ to actually take it seriously. Forget it, ignore this idiot, or his IQ will drop to the same level as him. Hyuga-chen pulled Hinata, hugged Hanabi, turned around and left. Stop for me. Uchiha Sasuke staggered and picked up the dropped ninja sword and rushed up again. Hinata turned back and slapped a palm, and Uchiha Sasuke, who rushed over, was slapped back by Hinata like a fallen leaf. Ah, you should die. One day, I will revenge. Angry crazy Uchiha, seems to be a madman. If you take revenge, take revenge. Why are you yelling at me? It's not that I killed your whole family and wiped out your entire clan. Hyuga-chen turned his head and narrowed his eyes slightly, revealing a dangerous light. Catching Hyuga-chen's dangerous gaze, Sasuke Uchiha immediately lowered his head, his eyes stinging as if they were being pricked by a needle. I will definitely kill you, and then kill that man. Sasuke Uchiha lowered his head and roared in a low voice. A domineering aura rose from Hyuga-chen, and Sasuke Uchiha touched that aura and was instantly stunned. Drag him into the alley and beat him. Don't let anyone see it, the impact is not good. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Obey. The Hyuga family guard who was standing next to him said quickly, this was an order from the patriarch, and he must not provoke a character, and he did not dare to go against it. Looking at the dizzy Uchiha Sasuke, the guard showed a hideous smile on his face, dragged Uchiha Sasuke by one of his legs, and dragged him away. Why not kill him? He wants to kill us. Hanabi pulled Hyuga-chan's arm. Little girl, your heart is very cruel. Hyuga-chan crouched down and pinched Hanabi's little face. Is he allowed to kill us and we are not allowed to kill him? Hanabi pouted. Okay, I'll kill you when you grow up. The head is left to you. Hyuga-chan said with a smile. Okay, when I grow up to be a ninja, I will definitely kill him. Hanabi clenched his fists with a determined look on his face. Hyuga-chen shook his head, waiting for Hanabi to grow up and have strength, then Uchiha Sasuke can still be alive or not. Where are we going, Brother Chen? Hinata asked. Just ask Hanabi, I brought her out to play anyway. Go to the playground. I heard that Konoha has opened a new playground, Hanabi said, raising his hands. Hyuga-chan and Hinata looked at each other and looked at Hanabi suspiciously. They didn't even know about it. How did Hanabi, a little girl who doesn't go out, know about opening a new amusement park? Then you lead the way. Hyuga-chen let Hanabi go ahead. I don't know, Lu. I just heard from the family, and I don't know where the playground is. Hanabi said with a wink. Asked about the way, Hyuga-chen took Hinata and Hanabi to play at the playground all day. This was the first time Hyuga-chen came to the playground in the Hokage world. Orochimaru, are you looking for me? Uchiha Itachi frowned and looked at Orochimaru. Orochimaru's gloomy appearance made Uchiha Itachi very displeased. Itachi-kun, I really want to meet Mangekyo Sharingan, can you let me see it? Orochimaru had an inexplicable smile on his mouth. My Mangekyo Sharingan, only for the enemy to see. Uchiha Itachi looked at Orochimaru deeply. Really, what if I had to watch it today? Orochimaru smiled lightly. Uchiha Itachi frowned, and when he looked down, his legs were already entangled in dense snakes. With a smile on his face, Orochimaru stuck out his long tongue and licked the corner of his mouth. If Hyuga-chen was here, seeing Orochimaru's demeanor, he would definitely punch him to death without hesitation. Itachi-kun, I will accept your Mangekyo Sharingan. The greed in Orochimaru's eyes did not hide. Aren't you afraid of pain? Uchiha Itachi asked indifferently as he looked at the snakes wrapped around his body without the slightest fear. The answer to this question, you should always keep it in your heart. Orochimaru sneered, and the group of snakes became restless, biting at Uchiha Itachi. Under the bite of the snake group, Uchiha Itachi's body turned into a dozen crows and disappeared. What? It's actually a clone made up of crows, it's really special. Orochimaru became vigilant. Sure enough, he was able to destroy the Uchiha clan, and he must not be underestimated. Orochimaru looked down on Uchiha Itachi too much before. As Orochimaru looked around, a ninja knife pierced Orochimaru's heart from behind Orochimaru. You are too careless, Uchiha Itachi said lightly. Really, I think it's you who cares. Magical and terrifying reincarnation. Orochimaru smiled strangely, and then hand sealed with both hands, successfully bringing Uchiha Itachi into the illusion. Mangekyo Sharingan is mine. Orochimaru tried to dig out Uchiha Itachi's eyes. At this time, Uchiha Itachi's eyes turned into Mangekyo Sharingan, his eyes shed blood and tears, and blood spilled from his mouth, but he successfully escaped from demonic illusion. Magic flare art. Uchiha Itachi only had time to use this demonic illusion, and then his body fell and fainted. Orochimaru struggled to break free from Uchiha Itachi's demonic illusion, and just as he was about to shoot at Uchiha Itachi, there was a sound of footsteps. The snake's perception told him that if it was very dangerous to stay here, Orochimaru did not hesitate to use Doton, Earth style, to leave. Life is more important. Orochimaru doesn't want Mangekyo Sharingan. Anyway, it's not impossible to get it in the future. After Heavenly Path pain came, he only saw Uchiha Itachi lying on the ground with a trace of anger in his eyes. The empty Chen ring left by Orochimaru on the ground, and took Uchiha Itachi to the treatment. Chapter 354 Sealed Book Incident. Orochimaru defected to Akatsuki, and there was a wave in Akatsuki. Originally, Sasori wanted to hunt down Orochimaru, but was stopped by pain. As one of the Sannin, Orochimaru is not weak. If he is in a hurry to kill him, it would be bad for him to reveal Akatsuki's secret. Leader, let Orochimaru go like this. You are not afraid of him revealing Akatsuki's secrets, then we Akatsuki will become the public enemy of the ninja world. Sasori of the Red Sands said. Orochimaru is a smart guy. He won't tell Akatsuki's secret unless he really wants to die. Heavenly Path Pain waved his hand, and the matter was over. Orochimaru wasn't stupid, and didn't reveal Akatsuki's secret. Of course, if Akatsuki's people really came after him, maybe to save his life, he might tell Akatsuki's secret. But Akatsuki's people didn't bother him, and he didn't make himself uncomfortable either. Time passed without haste. More than 5 years have passed in a blink of an eye. Hinata has reached the age of graduation, and it is also the time when the plot officially begins. Hinata, don't need to be nervous. A small graduation exam can be easily passed, and I don't know why you are nervous. Hyuga Chen said speechlessly. Now that Hinata's strength has completely entered the cage level, and she is still nervous about a small graduation exam, Hyuga Chen doesn't know what to say. But I'm still a little nervous. Hinata said while poking her fingers. Yuhi's face was a little embarrassed. Hinata went to school in a state of tension, but naturally, she didn't need to say much. With Hinata's strength, she wanted to graduate easily and happily. Her tension was totally unnecessary. In Hinata's class, except for the protagonist Uzumaki Naruto, everyone else successfully graduated. Go out for a walk and see if you can meet Naruto Uzumaki. Hyuga Chen walked out in a white kimono. In Konoha, Naruto did not see it, but met Mizuki, who bewitched Naruto to steal the sealed book. Seeing Mizuki, Hyuga-chan suddenly became interested, walked over and patted Mizuki on the shoulder. Who are you? Mizuki asked cautiously, looking at Hyuga-chan, who appeared inexplicably. I don't know who I am. I'm the one who killed Killer Bee Jinchuriki, call him Killer Bee. Do you know me now? Hyuga-chan's tone was a little unhappy. I don't know you. Get out of here. Mizuki walked forward quickly. He was now thinking about getting the sealed book, and then going to Orochimaru. Where was he in the mood to talk nonsense with Hyuga-chen? I can make you as powerful as Orochimaru. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Mizuki stopped suddenly and turned his head to look at Hyuga-chen. You really can give me the same power as Lord Orochimaru? Mizuki asked in disbelief. Of course, you're just a little teacher, like an ant. Do I have to deceive you? Hyuga-chen said lightly. Mizuki clenched his fists, and Hyuga-chan's ant-like character completely stimulated him. Give you a good thing, he can give you great power. Hyuga-chen patted Shuimu, and an extremely complicated spell appeared on his forehead. Hyuga-chen smiled lightly, ignored Mizuki, who was stunned, and walked away. Shuimu's eyes were stunned, and he couldn't react for a long time. The spell that Hyuga-chen gave him was not much different from the one developed by Orochimaru, but it was more powerful, and of course had greater side effects. As for the reason why he gave him the magic seal, it was completely Hyuga-chan's bad taste. He wanted to know what would happen when Mizuki's strength increased sharply. Will Uzumaki Naruto be killed directly by Mizuki? Hyuga-chan didn't leave very far, but found a place to sit and wait for the good show to be staged. When Hyuga-chan waited impatiently, the good show finally took place, and Uzumaki Naruto successfully stole the sealed book. Of course, he was able to steal the Book of Seals, which was entirely the intention of the third generation. Otherwise, the sealed book is heavily guarded, and even Uchiha Obito who owns Kamui cannot steal it silently. Does the third generation feel that I owe Naruto? Hyuga-chan stood in the air, quietly looking at Uzumaki Naruto who was flipping through the sealed book. Uzumaki Naruto, I didn't expect that you really stole the sealed book. Mizuki had a wicked smile on his face. Uzumaki Naruto looked at Mizuki, who was as ferocious as a ghost, and secretly swallowed his saliva. His instinct was not good. Mizuki-sensei, I have already stolen the sealed book, can I become a ninja? Uzumaki Naruto's arm trembled. Ha ha ha, to get the Book of Seals and that powerful spell, I don't need to go to Orochimaru anymore, I want the invincible ninja world. Mizuki laughed wildly. The sealed book that Naruto Uzumaki was going to hand over suddenly took it back. You are the bad guy. Bad guy, that's right, I'm the bad guy, hand over the sealed book. Naruto, please don't give it to him. Iruka rushed here with a few leaps and pulled Uzumaki Naruto behind him. Now, instead of blaming Naruto for stealing the sealed book, he was alert to Mizuki first. The current Mizuki feels very wrong to him. Mizuki, why are you doing this? Iruka demanded. On weekdays, Mizuki is polite, but he didn't expect him to do such a thing, beguiling Naruto to steal the sealed book. I'll be able to get the Book of Seals right away. I didn't expect you to come here. Shuimu's face was cruel. Of Iruka, he is obviously a teacher, he feels that he is better than Iruka in everything, why is Iruka the most popular? The resentful Mizuki has a strong jealousy towards Iruka. At the same time, Sarutobi Hiruzen is also monitoring this side through the telescope technique, and seeing that Mizuki's state is not right, Sarutobi Hiruzen feels bad. Go with me to get Mizuki back. Sarutobi Hiruzen took Anbu and rushed over immediately. Iruka 1.2, you never know how strong I am now, no one in the entire ninja world is my opponent, ahahaha. Mizuki laughed wildly and used the power of the curse mark. Originally just a chunin, Shuimu was barely considered an elite chunin, but his strength suddenly increased exponentially. The purple and strange chakra came out of the body, and Mizuki is no longer a human being, but like a ghost crawling out of hell. Damn it, it's so ugly. Hyuga-chan was speechless. Originally, Hyuga-chan thought that Geto Mazo, demonic statue of the outer path, was ugly enough, but he didn't expect an even uglier one. Shuimu, who is now in the state of the curse mark, can be said to be ugly out of a realm. Even Hyuga-chan, who planted the curse mark on him, never thought that he would be so ugly after entering the curse mark state. But this guy won't live long. Hyuga-chan said indifferently, this spell can give him powerful power, and it is also absorbing his vitality. Chapter 355 Orochimaru of the Backpot. The powerful aura created a gust of wind, and the tyrannical aura made Uzumaki Naruto faint, and Iruka could only persevere under this evil chakra. Good evil chakra, speed up, something may have happened. Sarutobi Hiruzen shouted. In fact, they have been paying attention to Mizuki for a long time, and today's matter is also Sarutobi Hiruzen's plan, arresting Mizuki and giving Naruto some compensation. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen did not expect things to get out of his control and something happened. What's going on? Is Mizuki already in contact with Orochimaru? Sarutobi Hiruzen was anxious. Uzumaki Naruto is a Kyuubi 9-tails Jinchuriki column force, and is a child left by the fourth generation. If Uzumaki Naruto really had an accident, he would not be able to explain to the fourth generation Hokage even if he died. Has the third Hokage arrived? Hyuga-chen looked at the third Hokage who came at the critical moment, and then looked at the fainted Uzumaki Naruto. As expected of the protagonist, someone came to rescue at a critical juncture. Stop it for me. Seeing that Mizuki was about to kill Uzumaki Naruto and Iruka with his claws, the third Hokage rushed to shout. "Oh 8. With this loud shout, Shuimu paused for a moment, and then was knocked away by the King Kong Rui stick. 3 generations of Hokage Sarutobi Hiruzen. There was a hint of fear in Mizuki's voice. Facing a big man like Hokage, Mizuki couldn't help but feel a little bit of fear, even though he now has the strength not weaker than Sarutobi Hiruzen. "Iruka, take Naruto and leave first," Sarutobi Hiruzen commanded solemnly. Iruka nodded, stretched out his arms to pick up Naruto Uzumaki who fainted, and left here quickly. Since Lord Hokage is here, he is not worried that Mizumaki will run away. "Mizuki, how did you become like this? Did Orochimaru transform you?" Sarutobi Hiruzen asked, regretting not killing Orochimaru at the same time. Even if he was reluctant to kill him, he should have been abolished in the first place. "Orochimaru. I don't need Orochimaru now, I am the strongest, and I want to unify the entire ninja world." Mizuki roared, his aura actually increasing. Of course, the increase in strength also means that his vitality will be consumed faster. According to Hyuga-chen's estimation, Mizuki can live for at most 10 minutes. To spend a lifetime in exchange for 10 minutes at the peak of cage level, I don't know if I lost or earned. Hyuga-chen said lightly. With Mizuki's aptitude, it is impossible for him to step into cage level in his entire life, and now Hyuga-chen uses the curse mark to help him step into the peak of cage level. Shouldn't it be a loss? After all, even in the shadows of the 5 great ninja villages, not everyone can step into the peak of cage level. Power, stronger power, ha ha ha. Shuimu has been completely lost in the powerful force. It's boring, this guy Mizuki can't support the wall with mud. Hyuga-chen was not in the mood to watch here. Mizuki, who was lost by the power, was definitely not the opponent of Sarutobi Hiruzen. If Mizuki was still sensible, he might be able to fight Sarutobi Hiruzen, but Mizuki, who lost his mind, would be beaten by Sarutobi Hiruzen. This Hyuga-chen to know it. Now that you know the result, why stay here? Might as well go back and lie down as soon as possible. The final result is also true. Mizuki Sora has great power, but not even a single injury to Sarutobi Hiruzen. Of course, Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't do much damage to Mizuki, and in the end, he dragged Mizuki to death abruptly by dragging time. Mizuki's defense was too strong, and Sarutobi Hiruzen used ninjutsu to hit him, causing no damage at all. Looking at the scrawny Mizuki who had withdrawn from the spell after death, Sarutobi Hiruzen was silent. A Chunin Mizuki can be so powerful. If they form an army, they will be invincible. Thinking that Orochimaru has such an ability, Sarutobi Hiruzen felt terrible, not to mention an army, even a small team, can cause immeasurable losses to Konoha. You take a group of people to inquire about Orochimaru's movements. Be sure to find out about Orochimaru. Sarutobi Hiruzen told Anbu Ninja. This time, Sarutobi Hiruzen put the blame on Orochimaru, and Orochimaru took the blame for Hyuga-chen. Orochimaru, who was preparing the Konoha collapse plan, knew he would definitely vomit blood. Early the next morning, Hinata went to school. Today, she will be divided into classes. After being divided into classes, she will become a real ninja. After Hinata left, Hyuga-chen took the haunting Hyuga Hanabi to the Hokage building. Coming to the Hokage building, Hyuga-chen pushed the door very directly into the Hokage office. The latest Filu Tianbang popular books plus full group files plus 10,000 online disc resources plus 800 new books per month. And the Hedgehog Cat book. This book is only for communication and learning, and the copyright belongs to the original author and publisher. If you like it, please support the genuine version. Seeing Hyuga-chen who pushed in the door, everyone in the Hokage office was stunned, even Sarutobi Hiruzen was stunned. why did Hyuga-chen, the god of plague, come? Huh, is this your son Sarutobi Asuma? Hyuga-chen looked at the bearded man standing beside him, who looked like an uncivilized ape man. Sarutobi Asuma's face sank, looking at Hyuga-chen with a rather unkind look. Look what I'm doing. I didn't make you a eunuch, you go to Uchiha Obito. Hyuga-chen pouted. The corner of Sarutobi Hiruzen's mouth twitched, and he actually opened his son's scar here, and Hyuga-chen couldn't let him continue. Hyuga-chen, what are you doing here? Sarutobi Hiruzen stopped the angry Sarutobi Asuma with his eyes, and then asked kindly. It is said that reaching out and not hitting people with smiling faces, and Hyuga-chen didn't come here to make trouble. Cough, I'm not busy at home. So I want to be a class teacher. Hyuga-chen said. Brother Chen, if you are bored, you can play with me. Hanabi took Hyuga-chen's hand. No, I don't play with you, you are too annoying. Hyuga-chen said with a blank expression. Humph. Hanabi got angry and hit Guy who was standing not far away with a small fist. Guy is very innocent, what are you doing to beat me when you are angry, and you are not young, this is a lot of strength, even Guy who specializes in physiotherapy feels a little pain. It must be the reason why I don't exercise enough. I was actually beaten by the little girl. I have to do 10,000 palm presses to make up for my deficiencies. Tears with thick noodles hung on Guy's face. Afterwards, regardless of the Hokage office, palm pressing started in the Hokage office. Everyone in the office was covered in black lines. Guy, why don't you leave first? It's none of your business anyway. Sarutobi Hiruzen said with a twitching mouth. There really isn't anything about Guy here, because Guy already leads a class. I know Lord Hokage. Might Guy walked out on his head. What a weirdo. Hanabi looked at Might Guy who was leaving, not only stunned. Learn from others, their efforts are hundreds of times yours. Hyuga-chen reached out and tapped Hanabi's little head. I don't want to talk to you, just ignore me. Hanabi covered her head and walked out, sitting at the door of Hokage's office. Chapter 356 The Land of Waves Mission. I want to be a team leader, don't you have an opinion? If you have an opinion, just reply. Hyuga-chen said again. No problem, in that case, Hyuga Hinata, Haruno Sakura, and Yamanaka Ino will be led by you. Sarutobi Hiruzen said helplessly. Anyway, Hyuga-chen opened his mouth, he couldn't refuse, as long as it's not bad for Konoha, just follow Hyuga-chen. Forget it, that's it. Hyuga-chen originally only wanted to take Hinata alone, but he has a good relationship with Haruno Sakura and Yamanaka Ino, and it's okay to add the two of them. Let's discuss it. I'll go first. Hyuga-chen stopped disturbing them, walked out of Hokage's office, and lifted Hanabi, who was sitting at the door, and disappeared instantly. Coming to the outside of Hinata's class, listening to the noisy voice inside, Hyuga-chen pushed open the door and went in, and then saw a scene that he shouldn't have seen. I saw Uzumaki Naruto and Uchiha Sasuke, mouth to mouth, eye to eye, the ambiguous atmosphere was beyond words. Oops, there is pervert. Hanabi immediately covered his eyes and muttered, after playing, I won't be blind. The embarrassed Uchiha Sasuke angrily pushed Uzumaki Naruto away, staring at Uzumaki Naruto with eyes that wanted to kill. Uzumaki Naruto, do you want to die? Uchiha Sasuke's voice was cold. Vomit tilde. Uzumaki Naruto couldn't help but spit it out. Uchiha Sasuke saw this scene, and his heart was even more angry. He hadn't spit it out, but this guy spit it out first. Tisk tisk, although I'm not against homosexuality, but if you do this kind of thing in the classroom like this, is it not a good influence? Hyuga-chen looked like a good show. Brother Chen, why are you here? Haruno Sakura asked excitedly. I'm the class teacher, Hinata, Sakura, Ino, you three come with me. Brother Chen, are you our class teacher? It's great, I thought I was going to be in the same class with these two guys. It scared me to death. Yamanaka Ino pointed to Nara Shikamaru and Akamichi Choji. Ino Shikacho is generally divided into a class, and it is not traditional, but Ino Shikacho can play the greatest fighting power together. So normally Ino Shikacho would be in the same class, but Sarutobi Hiruzen knew that Yamanaka Ino and Hyuga-chen were familiar, so they separated Ino Shikacho. However, Sarutobi Hiruzen put Aburame Shino and Nara Shikamaru and Akamichi Choji into a group, so that it will not reduce the combat effectiveness. It's you. Uchiha Sasuke also looked at Hyuga-chen at this time, the anger in his eyes could not be hidden. Hyuga-chen didn't even look at Uchiha Sasuke, and pulled Hanabi out, followed by Hinata, Sakura, and Ino. Came to a training ground in Konoha. This training ground is relatively remote, and no one usually comes. We are also very familiar, so there is no need to introduce ourselves. I have taught you the basic knowledge. It seems that there is nothing to teach you. You can cultivate yourself. Hyuga-chen took out a chair and a glass of juice, and then basked in the sun. Sakura and Ino are speechless. This is too perfunctory. Sakura, Ino, if you two have any questions, go ask Hinata. Hyuga-chen added. Too lazy, really too lazy. Ino said speechlessly. Call me lazy. You have no right to call me lazy, thinking back then. Remember when you woke up earlier than chickens, slept later than dogs, and practiced all day and night? Sakura said blankly. You've said this dozens of times, and we're reciting it by heart now. Really? You recite one and show it to me. I would like to see how you recite it like a fluent. Hyuga-chen had a playful smile on his face. The girls were choked and speechless. After becoming a class teacher, Hyuga-chen is irresponsible at all, and Hinata is teaching Sakura and Ino every day. Hinata also took them to do the task, mainly because they were unwilling to let Hyuga-chen take the task for them. Because Hyuga-chen had given them a dung-picking task before, it made them disgusting and bad. Even Hinata couldn't help complaining. The three girls protested against Hyuga-chan's excessive behavior, and even Hanabi, a stalker, also protested, because she was assigned by Hyuga-chan as a supervisor for that task, and the little girl was also smoked. From that time on, they never let Hyuga-chan take over tasks for them again. Doing this kind of task every day is really boring. It's obviously a task that some ordinary people can complete. Ino complained. What does weeding, watering, fertilizing, and what does this task do for ninjas? Ninjas are not farmers. Let's go. I'll take you on a fun mission and go out to play. Hyuga-chen, who was lying on the grass with salted fish, stood up. Brother Chen, you're not going to pit us again, are you? Sakura looked at Hyuga-chen resentfully. Don't worry, I'm not such an unscrupulous person. I'll take you out of the village to do tasks and let you go out and meet the world. Hyuga-chen brought Hinata, Ino and Sakura to the Hokage office. As for the little girl Hanabi, she was already thrown by Hyuga-chen. Came to Hokage's office. I happened to see the 7th shift and an old man who smelled of alcohol. 3 generations of old man. This young master is here to take over the task. Hyuga-chen grabbed the chair next to him, sat down and said. What mission are you taking? Sarutobi Hiruzen didn't want to see Hyuga-chen, and just wanted to send him away as soon as possible, for fear that Hyuga-chen would do something wrong. Let's do this mission in the land of waves. 2 classes together, you should have no problem with the 3-generation old man. No problem, let's go together. Sarutobi Hiruzen said immediately, and now he has no problem with what task Hyuga-chen takes. What? It's obviously our next mission, why should we be with them? Inuzuka Kiba said angrily. Now the members of the 7th class are, Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, Inuzuka Kiba. Jonin with the class is still Hatake Kakashi. Shut up you bastard, Sakura would be better off on a mission with us, Uzumaki yelled. Dishonor was overjoyed, the more people, the better for him. Hatake Kakashi didn't say anything, the 3 generations of Hokage had already decided, and it was useless for him to say anything. At noon the next day, Hyuga-chen dragged Hinata to the door of Konoha. Uzumaki Naruto, who was waiting here early in the morning, was lying on the ground helplessly, including Kakashi, the late king. Kakashi originally thought that he was the king of the late world, but now after seeing Hyuga-chen, Kakashi said that he was willing to give up. He, a person who is often late, has been waiting here for 3 hours. People like you are also worthy of being a class teacher, Uchiha Sasuke said coldly. Sasuke, shut up, Kakashi reprimanded. Uchiha Sasuke was very upset, and snorted coldly, with a stinky face. Kakashi is helpless. Although he reprimands Uchiha Sasuke, he is more to protect Uchiha Sasuke. Hyuga-chen is not a kind person. Chapter 357. Don't be afraid, it's all small. Finally out of the village. This is my first time out of the village. Uzumaki Naruto shouted after leaving the village after completing the procedures for leaving the village. Naruto, stop yelling, it's a shame. Inuzuka Kiba felt so embarrassed to have such a teammate. Inuzuka Kiba, how dare you say I'm ashamed? Uzumaki clenched his fists. Want to fight? Fighting is my favorite thing, do you want to try it? Inuzuka Kiba walked over and stuck face to face with Uzumaki Naruto. Hyuga-chen was stunned by the two. Is Inuzuka Kiba trying to grab a man with the second Jinchuriki column sun? Really strong. Two big men sticking together, it's so disgusting, I'm going to spit it out. Ino said contemptuously. Uzumaki Naruto and Inuzuka Kiba felt like they had been stabbed in the heart. That's right, it's really disgusting, let's stay away from them. The two of them are perverts. Sakura also made up for Uzumaki Naruto and Inuzuka Kiba's heart. The two of them also found that their current posture seemed to be a bit unsightly, and immediately Yuhi separated his face, of course not shy, but embarrassed, so he turned to Yuhi. Damn Uzumaki Naruto, it's all your fault, because you made me so embarrassed. Inuzuka Kiba yelled. Naruto, Kiba, you two stop arguing. Kakashi said to mediate, otherwise the two guys who were rushing to 480 would probably fight. Humph. For the teacher's sake, I'll let you go this time. You think I'm afraid of you? You are as annoying as that stinky Sasuke. Uzumaki Naruto burned the fire on Uchiha Sasuke's head. Uchiha Sasuke glanced at Uzumaki Naruto with a cold expression, and then quickened his pace, making it invisible. A group of Kakashi watched with the little yellow book of Intimacy Paradise. The three girls, Hinata, Ino, and Sakura, whispered together. The women gathered together, and the words seemed endless. Uzumaki Naruto and Inuzuka Kiba continued to bicker. Uchiha Sasuke walked in the front. His face was as cold as frost, as if someone owed him money and didn't pay it back. There is also the old man Dasna, who has a bottle of wine in his hand and takes a sip from time to time. He doesn't know why he has money to buy wine because he has no money to issue a mission. Hyuga-chen walked at the back of the crowd with a lollipop in his mouth. Unlike Kakashi, who was still wary of his surroundings while reading the little yellow book, Hyuga-chen was very relaxed and comfortable. Be careful, there are enemies. Hinata looked at the puddle not far away, said to Ino and Sakura, and then became cautiously alert. Ino and Sakura took out the kunai and were also on guard. Gentle Fist Law 8 trigrams Vacuum Palm. Hinata shot directly without hesitation, pitiful for the two hidden chunin, and just died. Kakashi's expression froze. Of course, he also found the two Kurigakure who were hiding poorly, but Kakashi wanted to know who their target was, so he remained silent. But I didn't expect Hinata to kill them with one palm. Looking at the spilled blood, Hinata's face turned pale, and Sakura and Ino were not feeling well either. Inuzuka Kiba looked at the blood spilling, and was no longer arrogant, holding Akamaru with a terrified face. Even the cold-faced Jinchuriki column couldn't keep his composure, but Jinchuriki column had experienced the night of genocide and had seen big scenes, so he calmed down after a while. Uzumaki Naruto had run to the side and vomited. The wine bottle in Dasna's hand fell to the ground, his hands shaking. He can be sure that the two people who were killed are definitely here to kill him, and with Cardo's money, he can definitely afford someone to assassinate him. Don't be afraid, it's just a small scene, you can just treat it as 2 dead chickens, so you won't be afraid. Hyuga-chen came to Hinata and the others and comforted them. As a client, shouldn't you explain it to us? Kakashi looked at Dasna seriously. Naruto, Sasuke, and the others have just come out of Shinobi Village, and there will never be any enemies, so the enemy's target should not be them. It is also impossible to be his enemy. It is not that Kakashi has no enemies, but because his enemies will never use such low means. It is also impossible to be Hyuga-chen's enemy, so using the exclusion method to eliminate all the things that should be excluded, the last one left is the old man Dasna. Old Dasna, I heard that there is a popular underworld in your place. Hyuga-chen asked indifferently. No, what do you want me to explain? Dishonor shook his head, looking extremely flustered. However, his panicked appearance has all been exposed. Finally, under the pressure of Kakashi, Dishonor said it all. Cardo controls the entire country of Waves, and we can't do anything about it. All the money in the country of Waves is in Cardo's hands. I really don't have any extra money to issue more advanced tasks. Dasna said bitterly. Brother Chen, this old grandpa is so pitiful. Hinata said sympathetically. That's right, Brother Chen, let's help him. Sakura and Ino looked at Hyuga-chen expectantly. Don't worry, a person who loves me will never sit idly by. The people of the land of Waves are living in dire straits, and I will definitely save them. Hyuga-chen patted his chest and said. With just 1 card, I can sink the entire country of Waves to the bottom of the sea with 1 punch. But I'm not helping in vain. I believe that even if I help in vain, you are embarrassed to accept it. What will you pay afterward? Hyuga-chen asked. We don't have any money, Dishonor said bluntly. You are so righteous without money, why are you so righteous? Hyuga-chen was upset, co-authoring you don't want to pay for it. Our country of Waves is really poor. Poverty is your business, it has nothing to do with me. Hyuga-chen said lightly. Mr. Dishonor, we now have the right to terminate the mission. Kakashi looked at Dishonor seriously. He hated such people very much in his heart. He must know that in the ninja world, such things are very taboo. If you change to a normal team, you may be wiped out in the face of 2 Chunin. After the final quarrel, they still chose to move on. Hyuga-chen was motivated, and Kakashi was completely persuaded by Uzumaki Naruto. Of course, the reason why Kakashi is more calm is because there is Hyuga-chen here. He believes that if there is a real crisis, Hyuga-chen should not sit idly by. Although he doesn't know Hyuga-chen's true strength, but it can make the major shinobi villages fear, you can imagine Hyuga-chen's strength. At the beginning, Hyuga-chen killed Killer Bee Jinchuriki, Column Force Killer Bee, and finally Kumogakure village did not dare to trouble Hyuga-chen, which shows how strong Hyuga-chen is. And when his father was alive, he also said that Hyuga-chen was very strong, so Kakashi was not particularly worried. This is also because Kakashi doesn't know Hyuga-chen's character very well, otherwise he wouldn't be so calm. According to Hyuga-chen's character, even if they are really in danger, whether Hyuga-chen helps them or not depends on their mood. If you're in a good mood, help, if you're in a bad mood, don't stab them in the back. Chapter 358 Soft-Hearted Hinata. Peachland will not be cut again. The ghost of Kurigakure village, this guy is very capable, assassinated Mizukage, and also defected because of this incident. Mizukage that this guy assassinated was Terumi Mei, and he was a tough guy. The current Mizukage is Terumi Mei, and the other girls are also staying in the village of Kurigakure. When Momochi assassinated Terumi Mei, he was seriously injured by Uzumaki Karen and Uchiha Izumi, and then defected. I have to say that if Teodi is not cut, it is also a great luck to be able to leave a life. Copying the ninja Kakashi, the taboo Hyuga-chen in the ninja world, this seems a little troublesome. Momoji Zaibugen frowned and said. In fact, Kakashi doesn't care, he is most afraid of Hyuga-chen. Although I have never seen Hyuga-chen, there are legends about him in the entire underground black market. Basically, as long as they are involved in the underground black market, there is no one who does not know Hyuga-chen. If you don't kill your lord, I think we should retreat. There's no need to work hard because of a mission. Bai, who was standing aside, said. Retreat, I will retreat. Isn't it just a Hyuga-chen, will I be afraid of him? Momochi didn't cut the very head iron. After all, he was the one who dared to assassinate Mizukage. It just so happened that Hyuga-chan's head was very valuable, so I took his head and went to the underground black market to exchange money. Zaibuo Niu said loudly. Brother, you are so awesome, you actually want to exchange my head for money. Hyuga-chen stood behind Zaibuzhan and kicked him out. Why are you here? Zaibuzhan looked at Hyuga-chen dumbfounded, then turned his head to look behind him, and saw Kakashi and the others were there. I'm here to slap you in the face, of course, do you have an opinion? Hyuga-chen gave him another kick. Sir Zaibuzhan. Bai hurriedly helped Zaibuzhan up, looking at Zaifuzhan with concern. According to my estimation, it will take at least half an hour for you to come here, how could it be so fast? Zaibuzhan was depressed and wanted to vomit blood. Aren't we going to speed up? You are mentally ill, you should be treated if your brain is sick. Hyuga-chen swept Zaibuzhan and Shiro out with one kick. You guys get rid of them. Hyuga-chen folded his arms. He just heard from a long distance that he would actually use his head for money if he didn't cut it. He really didn't know how to write dead words. I am so careless, I didn't even notice that the group of them approached. Zaibucho held the beheading knife and said while covering his chest. Hit with 3 legs by Hyuga-chen. Although Hyuga-chen was only playing tricks on him, it also seriously injured him. If you don't kill your lord, leave first, and I'll hold them back. Bai took out a few thousand copies and put them in his hands. I won't run away if I don't cut it again. No, cut it again, wiping the blood from the corner of his mouth, and said lightly. In fact, if you don't know, he can't run away at all, and he is seriously injured. His combat power is now equivalent to Jonin at most, and there is a Kakashi on the opposite side. Kakashi is not important, the important thing is that there is a smiling Hyuga-chen behind him, running away will only die faster. You are the missing nin of Kurigakure village, the peach land known as the Ghost Man will never be cut. Hatake Kakashi became vigilant, but he was a murderer without blinking, and a very cold character. I didn't expect the copy ninja Sharingan Kakashi to also hear my name, it's a surprise. Zaibuzhan said with an ugly face. Sharingan Kakashi. Uchiha Sasuke stared at Hatake Kakashi sharply upon hearing this. With a group of little devils, you also want to beat me. Zaibuzhan's body was overflowing with murderous aura, and the murderous aura on his body caused a faint yuhi fog to appear around him. This murderous aura had no effect on Kakashi, but it had a great impact on Uchiha Sasuke, Uzumaki Naruto and the others. Even Hinata, who is the strongest in the field except Hyuga-chen, has a considerable influence on the strength of Kage level. Although Hinata's strength is very strong, but Hinata is too young and has not experienced tempering. Hinata, he's just a paper tiger, deal with him. Hyuga-chen said with a smile. Hinata nodded, with both hands in a gentle fist stance. An 8 trigrams formation appeared, and Zaibuzhan was in the 8 trigrams formation. Not good. Feeling the crisis, Zaibuzhan quickly blocked the beheading sword in front of him. Gentle fist law 8 trigrams 128 palms. Hinata waved the afterimage with both hands, and there was no way to catch Hinata's attack without slashing, so he could only resist with intuition. Not to mention that he couldn't catch Hinata's attack without slashing, even if Kakashi leaned on Sharingan, he couldn't see Hinata's attack speed clearly. Although Zaibuzhan had sufficient combat experience, he still suffered a dozen slaps in the face of such a fast palm print, and the chakras on his body would not run so smoothly if they vomited blood and flew upside down. Sir Zaibuzhan. Bai immediately caught Zaibuzai who flew out, and then threw the 1,000 books in his hand towards Hinata. However, the power of the 1,000 books is not great, and Hinata easily opened the 1,000 books. Hatake Kakashi sucked in a breath and looked at Hinata in horror. Kakashi was already shocked when Hinata used the vacuum palm to deal with the two chunins. Now that Zaibujian was flying out, it was not only a shock to Kakashi, but a blow. Hinata, who was only 12 years old, and thinking about himself who was more than twice his age, Kakashi wanted to find a hole in the ground to crawl into. Although Zaibujian has been severely injured, it is also an elite jonin, and it is not an ordinary elite jonin. Among all the elite jonins, Zaibujian is also the top one. But Hinata can beat him seriously in one move, and also use 8 trigrams 128 palms. Hatake Kakashi dare not say that he can survive 8 trigrams 128 hands unscathed. Uchiha Sasuke's eyes are red. Yuhi, why does he work so hard every day, and he is not as good as a woman, why? He was not convinced. If you don't kill your lord, let's give up the mission. We give up the mission, and they may not let us go. No matter the injury of the body, the blocked acupoints will be opened first. Kakashi-sensei, they look so pitiful, let's just let them go. Uzumaki Naruto said. Kakashi shook his head when he heard the words. They were enemies, and being kind-hearted was a big taboo for ninjas. Hyoten Ice Style Mystery Demonic Mirroring Ice Crystals. Tenseigan Shinra Tensai Almighty Push Sign. Hinata shattered those ice mirrors in an instant. Seeing that Bai in the distance did not make another shot, Hinata still softened at the critical moment. Hyuga Chen shook his head, he knew that Hinata would be soft-hearted. Brother Chen, can you let them go? Hinata whispered with her head lowered. Forget it, do whatever you want. Hinata, if you want to let them go, let them go. But being kind to the enemy is cruel to yourself. Hyuga Chen reminded. You two guys don't hurry up and get out. Hyuga Chen looked at Zabujian and Shiro indifferently. If you don't cut off your lord again, let's go. Bai put on his back, and then quickly left here with a few jumps. Chapter 359 Akatsuki arrives. Without further obstacles, Hyuga Chen and the others came to the land of waves very easily. This country is really small. Hyuga-chan said in his mouth. The total land area of the entire country is similar to that of Konoha village, which is indeed very small. Cardo claims that he is one of the best businessmen in the entire ninja world. He is absolutely bragging. This small place like the land of waves is very attractive. Can it be a big businessman? When Hyuga-chen traveled to the ninja world, he never used it here, mainly because the country of wave has no special features. But now coming to the country of waves, Hyuga-chan feels that this country of waves is not without its characteristics. In fact, poverty is also a characteristic. Anyway, when I came to the country of waves, Hyuga-chen really realized how to write the word poor. Kakashi took Uchiha Sasuke, Uzumaki Naruto and Inuzuka Kiba to Dasuna's house. Hyuga-chen and the others did not go with them. The main reason is that Dasuna's house is too small. Kakashi and the others can't live together, and if Hyuga-chen and the others are included, it's even more difficult to live in. What's more, Hyuga-chen didn't want to live in that humble house, so he brought Hinata, Ino, and Sakura to the beach, where he built a house using Mokuden wood style. As expected of the escape technique possessed by the legendary first Hokage, this is really convenient. Ino touched the house built by Mokuden wood style. Hyuga-chan's mouth twitched. Mokuden wood style is not just for building houses. If you two have time, go and practice with Hinata. After all, the two of you are really weak. Hyuga-chan said. Under the guidance of Hyuga-chan, Sakura and Ino are probably elite chunin. Maybe they are not bad among their peers, but compared with Hinata, sorry they can't compare at all. Hinata is also the pinnacle in cage level, and how can the two elite chunin compare? Cultivation is really hard. Ino was lying on the table, unwilling to move at all. Yes, it's too hard, and I don't know how Hinata can endure such a boring practice. Sakura took over. With your temperament, you can only be a salted fish forever, and you can't become a real powerhouse. Hyuga-chen looked at the two of them with contempt. Ino and Sakura couldn't stand Hyuga-chen's contemptuous eyes, and finally ran to practice, and at the same time made up their minds that they would definitely impress Hyuga-chen with admiration. At the same time, Kakashi is also giving the 7th class special training, mainly teaching them to climb trees and tread water, so that they can enhance their ability to control chakra. Uchiha Sasuke seemed to be stimulated by Hinata, and he practiced like crazy, and he didn't even eat rice for practice. Then Uchiha Sasuke fainted from starvation. And Uzumaki Naruto saw his good friend Uchiha Sasuke working so hard, so he also practiced hard. If he didn't work hard, he would be crushed by Uchiha Sasuke. Uzumaki Naruto, who dreams of holding Uchiha Sasuke under his body, will never allow himself to fall behind Uchiha Sasuke. Inuzuka Kiba was influenced by the two of them and began to practice again. Kakashi felt very relieved when he saw this scene. Even the lazy Kakashi put away the intimacy paradise and concentrated on teaching the 3 people in the 7th class. Cardo Corporation. Cardo looked at Teodi Zaibuxian and Bai with a gloomy face. You two wastes, you can't even handle such a trivial matter. Cardo, pay attention to what you say, we are not your subordinates. Zaibuxian's eyes shone with a dangerous light. Aren't you a grandmaster assassination technique? You can't even kill an ordinary person, you are not a waste. Cardo growled. Zaibuxian's face was even more gloomy, his hand was on the beheading sword, and he looked at Cardo cruelly. What do you want to do? I warn you that it's best not to mess around. Cardo took a few steps back, looking at the murderous Zaibuchi in fear. Humph. I'll finish the task. Zaibuxian let go of his hand and walked out with Bai. If you don't kill the Lord, we will not complete this task. Your injury is not healed yet, and you will lose your life. Bai painstakingly persuaded. But if he doesn't cut it, he won't listen to the persuasion at all, and he must complete this task. Bai, I will be responsible for attracting their attention when the time comes, and then you go to kill Dasna, remember that you must not be soft. Zaibuju looked at Bai seriously. I know, in order not to behead the Lord again, I will definitely not be merciful. Bai nodded, knowing that if he could not be persuaded not to beheaded, he could only do his best to help the Lord. I hope you don't let me down. Zaibu-Yuzan took a deep look at the whites. As your tool, I will never let you down. Bai said firmly. Lord Cardo, I'm afraid it won't be reliable if you don't cut it. Said one of Cardo's subordinates. Humph, if I don't kill that guy, I already knew that he was unreliable. This time I spent a lot of money and hired a powerful organization to help me. Cardo's small eyes were full of light. Powerful organization. Could it be another shinobi village? It's not the ninjas from the Great Shinobi Village, but they are stronger than the Great Shinobi Village. I also got to know them by accident. Don't ask more. In fact, Cardo didn't dare to say much, he was afraid that saying too much would lead to death in the end. The organization that Cardo mentioned is Akatsuki. The operation of an organization requires a lot of money, so Akatsuki often receives tasks to make money. Akatsuki's name is very famous in the underground world, even the 5 great ninja villages know it, but they don't care too much. The arrogance of Da Ninja Village makes them look down on the underground organization like Akatsuki. When the time comes, let them get rid of this waste together without even slashing. If you dare to scare me, I will let you die. Cardo's expression was hideous, very scary. The person who invited Akatsuki this time spent a lot of money, but as long as he can successfully complete the Master of the Land of Waves, it will not take long to earn the money back. 2 days later, Akatsuki's people came, and in order to ensure that the plan was foolproof, Cardo hired a lot of people. Kakuzu, Hidan, Uchiha Itachi, Kisame Hoshigaki, Senju Nawaki, a total of 5 S-rank missing nins were invited. Of course, it cost a lot of money, 50 million taels for one person, a total of 250 million taels, and the card is more than 3.8, and I feel bad. But thinking of the benefits after monopolizing the country of waves, Cardo's distress disappeared, replaced by excitement. "Everyone, please take a seat," Cardo said with a smile, without being arrogant in front of Zaibusian. After all, Zaibusian is not on the same level as these people. "I heard that you also invited others. Isn't it resolved that a little ordinary person still needs us to go out?" Hidan said unhappily. If it weren't for the fact that Cardo's follow-up money hadn't been paid, Hidan would have taken him to Matsuri to offer him to the evil god. "What do you all know? That old thing invited Konoha's ninja. It seems that it is called Kakashi, and if you don't kill that trash, it will not be an opponent." Cardo smiled. "It seems interesting to copy the ninja Kakashi. Kakashi's head is also worth a lot of money." Kakuzu heard that it was Kakashi and expressed interest. Chapter 360. Now that you're here, don't rush to leave. Look at Hinata, you let him go, and now he's courting death again. Hyuga-chen pointed to the peach ground in front of him and didn't cut it again. This time, Momochi came unprepared. He used the technique of Kurigakure at the beginning, and then relied on his grandmaster's silent killing technique to fight with Hatake Kakashi. Hatake Kakashi really lived up to the title of Hatake's 55-50, and it was on a par with Zaibusian, who had not recovered from his injuries. Now the two sides are really 55-50. The current Kakashi is really a jerk. Hyuga-chen looked at Kakashi in the thick fog in the distance and couldn't help shaking his head. 12-year-old was promoted to Jonin, and now Kakashi is 26. 14 years have passed, and now Kakashi is still Jonin, but it has become an elite Jonin. Although Kakashi knows a lot of ninjutsu now, what's the use of having more? I learned a lot in a mess, and in the end it didn't work. On the other side, Shiro shot at Uzumaki Naruto and the others, trying to blow up the bridge that was about to be built. Alas, Hyuga-chen sighed helplessly. Why are Ten sighing? Ino asked. I'm sighing for that guy Kato. Is this guy mentally retarded? Don't you know that we will destroy the bridge after we leave? Hyuga-chen was worried about Kato's IQ. I really don't know how he became a big businessman. Are people in the ninja world easy to deceive? It was the protagonist of Uzumaki Naruto, Halo, who attacked Kato without meeting him. It makes sense. It seems that Kato is not very smart. Ino nodded. It's so foggy that I can't see it at all, and I want to see what's going on now. Sakura said. Let me tell you about the current situation. Now Inuzuka Kiba has been lying in the nest, Uchiha Sasuke has been stabbed into a hedgehog by Chinban, and Uzumaki Naruto has exploded. Hyuga-chen explained. Futon, wind style, Datapa, great breakthrough. Ino shouted loudly, blowing away some of the mist, but the area covered by the mist was too large, and Ino's futon, wind style, was too weak, and could only dispel part of the mist. Come on. Futon, wind style, Datapa, great breakthrough. Hinata hand seal with both hands. She rarely uses ninjutsu, usually he uses Hyuga's gentle fist. However, this does not mean that Hinata's ninjutsu is not powerful, and the super strong futon, wind style, blows all the fog away. Has Hinata seen in the distance? There are a few good ninjas there. Except for the guy with a big back and a scythe in his hand, his strength is pretty good. You can go to them later to improve your combat experience. Hyuga-chen pointed to the distance and said. Hey, I seem to see Tatsu, why don't we retreat? Don't earn this money. Senju Nawaki saw Hyuga Tatsu in the distance, and then patted Kakuzu on the shoulder. I have no problem with this, retreat. Kakuzu nodded very directly. Hey, Kakuzu, are you a coward? Don't you like money? Hidan pulled Kakuzu. I like money, but I can make more money if I have my life, Kakuzu said lightly. Although Hidan was unhappy, but seeing that all four of his teammates chose to leave, he could only follow. Isn't that Hyuga-chen? I'm frightening you guys. When I see him next time, I'll dedicate his Matsuri to the evil god. Then I'll show you how powerful my Hidan is. The distance, Hyuga-chen saw that they wanted to leave, with an inexplicable smile on his face. Since these guys are here, let's stay here and play. What are you doing in a hurry to leave? Hyuga-chen flew 6 black sticks out of his hand, and the black sticks landed in the 6 corners of the land of waves. 6 Red Sun Formation. The huge barrier encircled the country of waves, which meant that it was impossible for them to leave. I can't seem to get away. Kakuzu's expression was ugly. Naoki doesn't matter, he will be fine anyway, he is the calmest one among the crowd. I'll try it with the sweetened water style and see if I can get the enchantment out of the way, says Kisame Hoshigaki. Sweetened water style, super great waterfall technique. The enhanced version of the great waterfall technique, under the huge chakra of Kisame Hoshigaki, hit the barrier like a huge wave. However, if Tailed Beast Bomb of 10 Tails hits it, it will not cause any damage, not to mention Kisame Hoshigaki's attack. The 6 Red Sun Formation is the strongest enchantment in Hokage. Besides, this is what Hyuga-chen used. Even if the old man from 6 Paths came, he could only stand there and stare. It's just right not to leave, I'm going to have a showdown with that guy. Hidan said, wielding his scythe. This guy is a typical mindless person. No one else wants to talk to him. You can't break the barrier set up by them. What qualifications do you have to fight against them? Kisame Hoshigaki glanced at Kakuzu sympathetically. It would be tiring to be teammates with such a person. Let's go take a look. Uchiha Itachi walked forward. Since he can't walk, there is no need to hide. The battle between Kakashi and Zaibushin is almost over. Zaibushin's injury was not very good at first, but now that the fog has disappeared, he is completely at a disadvantage. Nozan also saw the difficulty of copying Ninja Kakashi, as long as the ninjutsu released by him can be copied by the other party, and then used. This is the power of Sharingan, but the light of Mangekyo Sharingan is too bright, covering the light of ordinary Tomo Sharingan. In fact, ordinary Tomo Sharingan is also very strong. Just copying this ability can save a lot of time for Sharingan owners. Raiden Thunder Style Reikiri. Kakashi used his strongest ninjutsu, instantly piercing Shiro's heart. That's right, at the critical moment, it was Baiwei who blocked Reikiri without slashing. 533 inches is that big sister dying? Sakura whispered. What big sister? That's a man. Hyuga-chen pouted. What? It's a man. Hinata, Ino, and Sakura were all surprised now. They thought Shiro was a woman. Hyuga-chen shrugged. It's not surprising. People who don't know Sebai, they will think it's a woman. They can only say that the fake mother is really scary. Hideyoshi is too scary. Using a Reikiri, plus the chakra consumed by the battle, Kakashi has begun to pant, and it can only be said that there are too few chakras to fight for a long time. Zabushин stared blankly at Bai, who fell to the ground, walked over and picked him up. At this time, Kakashi took the opportunity to use a Reikiri again, instantly killing him without cutting. The poor man didn't cut it, and before he could recover from Bai's death, Kakashi took the opportunity to open a big hole in his chest. This guy kills himself. Even if he dies, he is not worthy of sympathy. He has already been let go once, but he still came here to seek death. It can only be said that he has lived enough, and he does not want to live anymore. Sasuke, are you okay? Kakashi hurriedly went to check Sasuke's situation, and now Uchiha Sasuke's situation looked miserable. There are thousands of copies in the whole body, at least dozens of them. This is also a kind-hearted person, and he is merciful. Otherwise, Uchiha Sasuke should go to the Pure Land to report to the old man 6 Paths.